Watch out, watch out. Watch you, we keep them all. Say we keep them all. And cold and hey, 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 hey. Watch you, we keep them all. Say we keep them all. When cold and Jesus, are you balance? Trouble. Watch out. Watch you, we keep them all. Say we keep them all. And cold and hey, watch you, we keep them all. Say we keep them all. When cold and Trouble. Watch out. Watch you wicked them all. Say the wicked them all. And go down. Hey. Watch you wicked them all. Say the wicked them all. And go down.
So why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right side of the argument. Hold the people you elect accountable. And stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Happy Tuesday to those in television land. Happy Tuesday to our silent supporters. Happy Tuesday to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much as usual for tuning in. Really appreciate each and everyone's continued support. Remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can, and if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. Let me just give a special shout out to all our channel members and to all of our moderators. Tonight's topic is Corrupt to the Core with your host, Mystic Sensation, which is Byron and Anne-Marie. We also have Melting Pot, and we will also have Daisy from Daisy Magazine joining us shortly. Unfortunately, Mr. Rattigan will not be here tonight because he has other engagements that he cannot get out of. So Mr. Rattigan will not be on tonight. Let me just say an umbrella welcome to everyone in the chat, because the chat is already gone away from me, and you know how that goes. So an umbrella welcome to each and every one, and thank you so much as usual for your continued support. We cannot stress how much we really appreciate each and every one of you. Without any delay, let me just go ahead and hand over to Byron.
All right. Thank you, Lady Mystic, for that. And I want to say once again, right, welcome to another wonderful live stream, Mystic Sensation, right? And I want to thank all the people who continue to support us, right? Now, tonight, of course, we have some serious subject matters that we are going to discuss, but as usual, we are going to, meet and greet, right, our people. So I'm just passing on the baton to Melting Pot for Melting Pot to meet and greet his people. Melting Pot.
Thank you, Sir Lord Byron. Pleasant greetings to everyone tonight on the Mystic Sensation Live. If it's Tuesday night, it's Mystic time. And as the caption said, a corruption time in a Jamaica as usual. We have to deal with that straight. But I want to big up the people as usual. Now the audience, now the chat, worldwide. Enough respect, enough love as usual. Big up to my people down in a ground zero. Enough love as usual. Even though the time hard and nothing now coming away. But just keep the faith. Big up the 2 Mile Lights, them. Big up the Painland. Big up the Painland Heights, them. Mongoose Town, yeah. All around a Waltham. All the way back down in a Greenwich Farm. Come about Island, Union, Crescent Road, St. Joseph Road, Cookan Lane, Kid Lane, Norman Lane. Boy, I tell you, Wolipa Lane. Crescent Road, big up on yourself, One love, Melting Pot, say that. Dela Cree Park, we know no tune in, Big up same way. And we are go down in a Oakland, all of the Oakland, them, Crescent Road, Avenue Drive, big up on yourself. Yeah, man, Mandela Town, enough respect, same way. Over Rome, love and blessing from Melting Pot. Frog City, Wagwan, hold tight, We wanna feel like Melting Pot now go shout out, Yeah, man, Frog City, hold tight, man. And big up all blood and fire comrade right round the island. And me are telling us that tonight is a revelation for the Mystic Sensation. Enough love to the host, Sir Lord Byron, technical director, Lady Anne-Marie, with the gold finger. How she touch the thing them behind the scene and put the picture them on the screen or the video
Right.
them. So enough love and respect. All blood and fire comrade tonight, Mystic Sensation. Nice! Over back to the host.
All right. Blessing for that, Melting Pot. And people, as you know, of course, we have to touch the high point of Parliament as it relates to Angela Brown Burke, right? I just love her. Overwhelmingly. Can't just love her one more time. Love her too much, right? And so then we are going to give some highlights where that is concerned. But Jamaica, this is what I want to say to you as it relates to Juliet Holness and Andrew Holness. Obviously, they believe that they own Jamaica. They believe that they are operating a monarchical government. They believe that they are entitled to take taxpayers' monies and no accountability. Now, we have seen Juliet Holness try to manhandle the opposition in Parliament, try to suppress the opposition in Parliament. Doesn't want to give the opposition any form of leeway because she decided that she's bull and dopey conqueror. Well, tonight, right, we are going to expose her. Now, here is Juliet Holness trying to, speak about discipline, try to speak about ethics, right? And yet, she has none. She had broken all the rules, right, whenever she wants. Andrew Holness breached the Constitution whenever they want. And it's okay, right? Because, of course, they are the Napoleons. They are the Hitlers. You name it. And so then this is the approach that they are coming with. But let me just remind Juliet Holness of something as it relates to how she need, as a House Speaker, what the House Speaker ought to do. That the House Speaker has to strike balance and fairness. And that is within the Constitution. So I want to remind Juliet Holness of that document. And before I go any further, that is a document that I want to remind Juliet Holness as it relates to the function and the responsibility, the primary responsibility of the House Speaker, where fair and balance is concerned. Okay, all right. We have Sister Maria joined us. All right, blessings. All right, let me just have Sister Maria just relax a little bit, and then we read this document, and then we get to Sister Maria to meet and greet. Okay, so let us just remind Juliet Holness as it relates to the Constitution, because she's behaving in a way right to suppress the opposition. So we want to bring this out tonight. Here it is. The Speaker of the House of Representatives in Jamaica is constitutionally, Juliet Holness, let me say this to you, constitutionally mandated to be a neutral arbiter. Do you understand the primary thing here within the Constitution? Jamaica is constitutionally mandated to be a neutral arbiter, presiding over debates with impartiality. This is what you have done wrong that lead my sister Angela Brown-Burke to touch that mess. Here is the Constitution is telling you that you need to preside over debates with impartiality. Our sister has been complaining so many times she had rung the buzz. So many a time she alert you, the Speaker, for her to present her motion, but you denied her. You blatantly denied her because you're a dictator. You decided that whatever she's saying, she's going to say is not important. And you don't want to hear from her. Our parliament doesn't run like that. So I am reminding you of what is constitutionally expected of you. Here it is, Juliet Holness. The Speaker of the House of Representatives is Jamaica, is constitutionally mandated to be a neutral arbiter, presiding over debates with impartiality, enforcing parliamentary rules, and protecting minority rights. You have done none of this, Juliet. However, the current Speaker, Juliet Holness, has faced intense criticism and accusations of bias and partisan inclination, prompting opposition walkouts. We have seen that done. Key points regarding the Speaker's role and recent controversies. Role and duty. The Speaker is tasked with upholding the integrity of the House and acting as a neutral arbiter, a role often tested in Jamaica Westminster style democracy. Controversies and bias accusation. Critics have accused Speaker Juliet Holness of failing to provide a fair, balanced environment, leading the opposition to demand she be removed from certain committees. Now, Juliet Holness, it is a fact that when the Integrity Commission sent over certain report to you relating to persons who are under investigation, you delayed those reports. You have delayed those reports, breaking parliamentary norms, rules, and guidelines. And so here you are with your dictatorship. With you believe that, of course, you are running a monarchical government. It is clearly stated in the Constitution as it relates to your function and responsibilities and what is expected of you. Take this away. You know what I want to tell Jamaica? I want to share something to Jamaica. But before I do that, let me just have Sister Maria meet and greet, because tonight we are going to get very serious. Now, Sister Maria, you know, you're no stranger to Mystic Sensation, you know, right? You're once, right, a Mystic Sensation warrior. But guess what? Now, I know that you have picked up the mantle and we start again. Wonderful.
Greetings,
You.
greetings, Baron. Anne-Marie, greetings, my dear. How are you? Melting Pot, you talk about Mongoose Road and Mongoose Town. Place name, sir.
Yeah, man. How you say, man? A PMP strong
Oh,
one.
look at right. So like
PMP.
Melting Pot will make a place, you know.
DSA.
Greetings, Melting Pot. And to every...
At Jamaica.
Eh?
Melting
Eh?
14 parishes in Jamaica. I travel
That's
the whole
good.
land. Any man will deal with transportation. Cover the whole
That's
land.
true. That's true. That's true. And to everybody in the chat, I say a blessed evening to everybody.
All right. Thank you,
yeah.
Sister Maria. Because we know that tonight is going to be very heated, you know. And of course, your participation will be impactful. All right. Now, Jamaica, I am going to play a clip with Juliet Owens. And when you listen to this clip, you are going to realize that from the onset, from Juliet Owens was a child, she seek control. You are going to see that Juliet Owens in that interview saying to Jamaica that she cannot be impartial as a House Speaker. You are going to hear Juliet Owens out of her own mouth saying that she has to be politically biased. And that is one of the reasons why I go and do the research as it relates to what the Constitution has said and the responsibility as a speaker, right, to be fair and balanced. You are going to hear this interview where Juliet Owens is saying to the host that it is a difficult task, right? She doesn't have the capacity or the ability to be balanced because she run on a party ticket and she has to consider that. That what she said is extremely dangerous for Jamaica. She's telling us that under no circumstances she's going to be fair and balanced. Without any delay, listen to this, Jamaica. Listen to this interview. Just click on it.
And your own desire to be educated and to be driven and to be the best version of yourself is something that is always going to go with you. No one can take that away from you, and no one will be able to help you in the way that you think forever. So at some stage, this has to be up to you. And it helped because after that, 3rd, 4th, 5th form, I was doing exceedingly well.
So that was a teachable moment.
Oh gosh, I have never forgotten it. My mommy was hard, some of the lessons she taught me. When I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, she had 7 cents on her bureau. And one night I was passing and I saw it and I said, Charles, they could change. And I took it up. All the money got dropped. When it fell, mommy woke up and said, Juliet, is that you? I said, yes, mommy. What are you doing? Nothing, mommy. What do you have in your hand? I showed it to her. And she said, where did you get that? I said, oh, quickly, Howie, my cousin. She said, no problem, sweetheart, go to bed. And I went to sleep. In the morning, mommy woke up. I've never forgotten. It was a Saturday night. Sunday morning, she said, come, we're going down to Howie. I said, Jesus, we're in trouble. And we went. And she said, did you give this money to Juliet? This is me around behind my mother. And Howie said, no, auntie, I didn't give it to her. She said, Jules, come. And we walked up nicely. I got a proper scolding. And when I was complaining to mommy that something caught me and she hitting me, and mommy said, no problem, let me get something for you, alcohol. And then she tied me onto the gate. And I sat there at the gate and everybody passing to me, like, morning, morning. And I couldn't understand the lesson. a friend of hers came and she told my mom, don't do it. This is really too harsh for her. And my mom said, liar and thief walk together. If you lie, you will thief. If you thief, you will lie. You must never lie. You must never steal. That was a teachable moment for me. And I have lived my life not coveting anything that anyone has because of it. And I'm happy for those lessons. I think some of the lessons that many of us still need to have today.
We're just getting started. You're just getting started. And I'm so happy you are here with us and that people are able to be inspired by your words. When we get back, we focus on strength, balance, and womanhood. Candid with Juliet Wholeness. We'll be right back. Juliet Wholeness. Now, Mrs. Wholeness, we did say in the intro that you're a mother, you're a wife, you're an MP, you're a house speaker, you're a businesswoman. How do you balance it all? Or is there anything called balance?
Oh, yes, there is. I find sometimes, especially now, some things, get left behind. And I think always it has been me. When my kids were younger, I found that had to be my priority, children. My husband has always been a priority for me because I believe the family is important. And so when you need to sacrifice, the sacrifice always goes in their favor. However, as Andrea has done the same, realize that life is really more than about just yourself and your family. It's no different for me. And especially because we have children, I decided my children needed to also understand the importance of serving and not just being about themselves. When you look back, you'll be serving in small ways, like church for me. And as opens up different opportunities for you, it is a window, a door to being able to serve even more. And so I've had to find a way to balance it. So I get up very early in the morning. If I go to bed at midnight, I will be up by 3. Or I'll be going to bed at 3. I think as I've gotten older, I need to find a little more time to rest. It is necessary, and a little bit more time to exercise. I think we have to take care of our health as we progress through life. So I think I'm at that second stage. Probably the last 6 months to a year, I have decided to add me to the priority. And I think it is something all women need to do. I believe more than anything, we are the ones who sacrifice ourselves for family, for work, for everything else. And I think it is important to take care of ourselves as well. So I'm doing a little bit more self-care in the balancing.
You are a mom to boys.
Yes.
What has that been like for you?
Oh, I've enjoyed it. It is the best. And luckily for me, I had 2 boys who don't give much trouble at all. Adam, the oldest of the 2, is a techie. And he helps me with everything that I need to do and know to get ahead in terms of efficiency. And I'm happy for that because I love efficiency. The younger 2, he is more business-minded, and 2 of them are a bit business-minded. But he is the one who will learn to cook everything. And I love to do that too. I don't like to eat same old. So he will be the one who said, Mommy, let me make you a burrito. Right? All of it too. Oh gosh, I hope he never makes a burrito. So yes, they are wonderful, wonderful boys. I'm happy I had the influence of their father because I thought that was also a necessity. So when they were younger, life was a lot different. I was not as heavily involved in politics at all. And I would be the person who drive them to school. Then I would head off to work. I would be the one who goes to the sports days. And we'll try to be at like the plays and the school year and performance. He would make the effort to come in. But I would be the ones with them almost all the time. And I found in terms of education, because my mom taught me it was so important, I paid a lot of attention to both attitude. So if you're doing well, but I'm not liking how you're behaving, I'm going to spend time training for that. So I found the younger of the two, he was always very, the girls would be walking behind him at school and he was like king. And I'm like, cut that out. Don't do that. You are not special. You have to make sure you treat everyone how you would like to be treated. And then the older of the two, he is not so very tactful. Whatever he had to say, he just said it. He didn't mean to hurt. And I have to teach him, you have to be tactful. You have to be careful. You can't hurt people in what you say. And they have gotten there. And I spent some time with them as well, especially older, just learning how he learned. So if you're doing maths and I realize you're not picking up a particular concept, we'll be marking the papers as well, looking through the homework. So you have to do it first. And then I say, I realize that he's not catching this concept. And so I have to spend time to teach that concept. Or I have to spend time to teach being disciplined, being hardworking and sitting down until you're finished. Don't give up. So that was the type of mother. And they had every birthday, I'd be decorating for the birthday, make the cake. If you have to stretch your money, you have to stretch your money. All right. I will be blowing up with balloons and doing the decorations and everything necessary to make them feel that, okay, I've had an enjoyable life. If party at a friend, I will drive them there, I'll sit and wait, and even know that they're much older. And if they're in trouble, I think they'll call me before they call daddy. All right. They're like that to today.
What is a typical family night for you?
Well, now both of them are away at school. And Andrew's like always working now. So a typical family night is we finish either parliament or constituency or wherever. And first thing I do, I go in and I start cooking.
You still cook?
I still cook. Oh, I've never had a chef. Never ever. All right. I do a lot of food prep. And Andrew has realized that I do a lot of food prep. He said, Juliet, what can you cook up now? And I'm happy he's not challenging in that regard. He will say whatever is easiest for you, so you can do something quickly. Lots soups. So I do a lot of food prep, puree my pumpkin and stuff and refreeze. Cut up my meat, refreeze. So everything is easy to.
All right. I don't like to listen any longer, so I'm just going to cut it here. But for persons, maybe I'm going to share it, right? I never realized that it was so long, right? But in this particular clip, right, she partially mentioned that she cannot be fair as it relates to the House Speaker because she run on a party ticket, right? And providing that she run on a party ticket, right, she has to do accordingly. But let me just make some critical points here. Everything that Juliet Holness is saying in that interview, right, is lies after lies after lies after lies. You heard Juliet Holness speaking to the host, saying that, he corrected his son in saying that his son needs to be more tactful, more understanding towards others. Now, I want to know if Juliet Holness, right, show that sort of tactfulness in Parliament. We have not seen that. And we know that based on Juliet Holness' behavior, right, Juliet Holness is a bully. And in her profile, in dealing with people, even at the land at least flat, she bullied the lady, right? That it end up in court. So we know that she's a bully. Now, I want Jamaica to notice something in terms of what Juliet Holness said. Because Juliet Holness is saying, from early out, she's a taker. From early out, her mother have the silver put at a particular place, and she went there and she stole it. I don't know why she pretty it up.
why you put it up, so she's a tech,
Right?
she's a thief.
She went there and she stole the money. But you can see and hear from her as it relates to the quick response of the lie that she quickly made up. Her mother asks, who is that? She said, me, mommy. And what is in your hand? Oh, some kinds. Where do you get it? Oh, X and X gave it to me. The mother knew that she was lying. And so then the following morning, the mother went, right, in terms of generating the evidence and spoke with the person who Juliet owner said had given her the money. And listen what she said she was doing behind her mother, right? Trying to signal to the person to take up for her, defending her corruption. But the person did not defend it. The person told the mother that he did not give Juliet Owens any money. And then Juliet Owens got a fine spanking. Remember, in Jamaica, she is the one who is saying this to us. Now, here it is that Juliet Owens and her husband under investigation for what? Criminality. So the question that I'm asked before I'm going to have Daisy speak to us, did she learn any lesson from her mother? Her mother who tried to instill discipline in her in saying, leave people things alone. Did she leave our treasury alone? No. And so then here it is that they are under investigation, and as it relates to their statutory declaration cannot be certified. Juliet Owens is telling us this out of her mouth, that from when she was a child, she has been stealing, and we make up that. Juliet Owens had spoken that this is the person, this is the character that we still have in Parliament. She has not learned not one thing. Let me heal back and have Lady Maria say her piece as it relates to that clip. Sister Maria.
Yeah, you know, Baron, I listen to her because I'm forced to listen to her. And, you know, when it comes to those people, I either have to listen to them drunk and high or under something other than stronger than coffee, because they're not rational human beings. And you know, one of the things I was listening to when she talked about her involvement with her children, you know, going to school, picking them up and doing all of those things. And the question I have for her is, what has she done to help improve the education sector to make it accessible for average Jamaicans, that other parents can do as she is doing? How has she helped to craft legislation to bring forth changes to laws that will, one, provide a livable wage for parents, and two, provide a system where both mother and father can be involved with their children and not feel the pressures of the economy on them so much so that they are detached from the daily, the day-to-day running of a home and involvement with their children. Because many parents would like to go to the sports day and go to the activities that their children have. Many children don't have extracurricular activities because their parents can't afford to send them to school, yet alone afford to have them in being involved in extracurricular activities. So how has she facilitated that? You know, and she's talking now in I'm sure this interview was done this year. So she's talking now in 2026. And she's talking as a speaker, as a parliamentarian, and being both, she's a part of the legislative branch of the government. So how has she facilitated that for them and made their lives better? Looking on the ground, reading things in the paper, she has done nothing to contribute to that. The question now to her is, how have you helped to facilitate that in your own constituency? You know, and there are many other questions to be asked. Is she a businesswoman moonlighting as a speaker and a member of parliament? because it will seem that that is more what, where her interest lies. And then she just shows up to the parliament because she's being paid to do so. And she has to, make it look like she's doing something. And then she comes with the arrogance and the disrespect and the demeaning of other members of the parliament. So there are more questions than answers. And sometimes when she speaks, it's more a projection than anything else. So I take whatever she says with a grain of salt.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Sister Maria. Now let me go to Melting Pot, because Melting Pot, Juliet Onus is telling Jamaica that from she little, she a thief. From she born, she a thief. So Jamaica feels lower, right? Because of course, she tried a little test run on her mother. Assets, and her mother found out and bust her. You understand? And she paid the consequence for that. But I am saying it doesn't seem like Juliet Onus, right, learn anything, because the mother, while strapping her, the mother said, listen to me. Thief and liar walk together. I don't know if that is the reason why Juliet Onus married Andrew. You understand? Because who is the thief and who is the liar? But no, that as it relates to what Juliet Onus said, they became a perfect couple, because now we have $3 trillion missing. And Juliet Onus has said, let me tell you something, Jamaica. Don't be surprised. You understand? Nothing unusual here as it relates to the $3 trillion. For me born me a thief, and me do a test run for my mother, and now me sharpen up the skills. What say you on that, Melting Pot?
Well, I like when them come out and do them PR, interview, and try to express them lifestyle, how them live, and from where them coming to where them reach. But it burn me. The listener, I do that interview and I talk about cooking and all type of dish, and yet still majority of Jamaican mothers can't find food. And here she come out lavishly, explain how them live them lifestyle. But them a criminal. You understand? Perfect blend. Thief and liar. Juliet are the thief, and remember Andrew are the world's greatest liar then. So a perfect combination. But I want to look on them in a more in depth, because I know what PR should come do. You understand? Because the heat is on, Yeah, man, the heat is on for the holiness them. So the mafia try to come impress upon the people. Yeah? But that not gonna work. The bad no want you to live. People want to know what you have in our head, how you think, and Melting Pot. I go bust it tonight, Yeah. Now show the people how you think. You see where she going with Angela Brown and the Mace. It have Melting Pot I wonder. And people in the chat, me want to follow me. I want to ask you the question and Andrew the question. When you build a big castle up at Beverly Hills, yeah? Because that's no house, and no mansion, a castle. Because in a Andrew head and Juliet head, them are king and queen for the country, And if you look on the wall, we go around them castle, it look like Buckingham. It resemble Buckingham wall. So me want to know if them have an idea where them a go. In a Jamaica, them want to reach up there, so them can't reach up a king and queen, Yeah, them can't reach up a king and queen. Because me know say we not replace our democracy with no monarchy. That can't happen in a Jamaica. So the idea where them have, yeah, because them are king and queen right now in a parliament, I saw them a behave. That's all the Mace now becomes so attached to she, a criminal, that she want disrespect Angela Brown. She can't disrespect my MP, man. She mad. I mean, I defend Miss Angela Brown to the hill. Because as one of our call in with and say, Angela Brown should have took the maid and slap her. Because them no uphold democracy at Westminster, So how she so, inclined to push out Miss Angela Brown because she touched the mace. when them now uphold Westminster model in the parliament. I be a criminality, be a disrespect that don't happen in a Westminster parliamentary system. Yeah. Order of the day must be paramount. Respect must be concrete. You can't have a little market girl will become Speaker of the House because her husband draw her into politics because the two of them want to rob Jamaica, want to build castle out of Jamaica, want to live like the king and the queen in England, put up big old wall around them place, yeah, and then come out and talk like this when people are suffer, can't find food. Yeah, come talk about on a lavish meal on the spread on the table with, on a lifestyle, when you talk about all type of various things, mother they have mourn how them pick the dead. Look how she talk, how she love her kids them and her boys them love her. But one thing me I tell Jamaica, you know, it's a lucky thing she never have no girl pick if it turn 2.0 as she, you know. That lucky thing, and go two boys she have because if she did never have a girl pick, you know, I the same spitting image of the mama, you know. 2.0, Juliet, size 14. So I'm glad she not a girl pick me. No, we know say the holiness them don't have Jamaica best interest at heart. We know say Juliet a criminal from she young. She talk it out her own mouth. She a steal from her mother. I remember sister she come from humble beginning. So and like the mother did rich. Mother was just a market vendor. So the little money they now must send the little pit to them go to school. She a steal it. And then she a look people to come up and tell lie. And the same thing we see with she and Andrew. Wanna steal,
Certain.
wanna tell lie. Cause Juliet are the mafia, you know, in disguise, you know, people. Long time melting pot I tell you, now, she push him, you know. And him have to do what she said. I seen get a big box or 2 box. Yeah, no joke about that. And she push him. But, you know, it hurt me. For no say, them I come expose them lifestyle. And the poor people, them, some of them out of do right, you know. Yeah, still on the tarpaulin. Don't get nothing out of the food supply where the people them send come at Jamaica. The money come and add them not get none. The holiness them sit down upon it. One drive it round the island in our vehicle named Nara. Nara not have no chassis number people. Nara illegal. But I guess so them want to put the money into Nara. So we have concern about this type of behavior by the holiness part from them take into the politics arena, you know. A PS scamming, robbing, mafiaism, all type of thing befall upon Jamaica. Jamaica becomes a narcotic state. Yeah, cocaine a run through a place like rain. Me I tell you, gonna come in, the place mash up. And it's because of the holiness. And what we have to do right now is try to restrain them, contain them, yeah, and get rid of them. And I yield back the floor.
All right. Thank you for that melting pot. Thank you, Sister Maria. All right, we are going to dig deep, and of course, as it relates to comrade Sister Brown Burke, right? We are going to tune in and take in some of what Sister Brown Burke, right, deals with today, because Sister Brown Burke, right, she has no fear for Juliet owners. And she's calling a spade, right? And I can tell you that Sister Brown Burke, right, is always going to put her foot down. Without any delay, let us hear what Sister Brown Burke, right?
Before you do that, Baron, is it possible you could play some of what Juliet said and preface it and then play Dr. Brown Burke? Because then it would give some context to what Dr. Burke said.
Okay, all right. So
not all of it, just to give, because it grates my spirit just hearing her speak.
Yeah. See, you mark it?
Hold on.
All right, so we have to do some markings here and
Hold on.
right.
What is it? I'm doing two different takes.
All right. We are going to try to do two different takes so people can follow along. Um,
1 second.
okay, so you know, and of course, Angela Brown Burke is saying that you know she's pushing back on the bullyism and the dictatorship that Juliet Owens want to execute in the parliament, right? Because again, as it relates to she wanting to, of course, make her point and not being allowed to make her point. Okay. All right. This somewhat sort of strenuous for us because
If we can do that, then you do go through with Dr. Burke.
yeah,
Because we can summarize what she said basically.
Just you can find Bishop Juliet want to speak.
That's what I'm doing. That's where she's speaking.
Okay. Let us hear that. All right, coming up, we have that. So we are going to play it so that people, because context is important, Sister Maria. So we want to provide context.
Simply about an object being moved. The issue is whether the authority of the House itself is to be respected. That is why this moment cannot be reduced to political theater. It is not about government or opposition. It is about whether this parliament, which belongs to the Jamaican people, will be allowed to conduct the people's business with order.
Hold on, I have to stop it right there. Based on what Juliet Owens is saying. Jamaica, I want to hear what Juliet Owens is saying. Right? That the authority of the House has to be respected. Let me tell you something, Jamaica. Why that is true, the question that we are asking, does Juliet Owens respect the authority of the House? She doesn't. She doesn't. So she's a big hypocrite. When the Integrity Commission investigators sent her certain report, she hold on those reports. She break standing orders, right? And defy the rules of parliament. And here is Juliet Owens talking about people need to respect the authority of the House, where Juliet Owens herself disrespect and disregards the rules of regulation. This is unbelievable in terms of what we are hearing from Juliet Owens here. Let us play it and listen.
Unity and respect. Members, values and attitudes matter. Only to
hold on then. Members, values and attitude matter. Let me ask Juliet Owens a question. Because values and attitude matter. The Prime Minister's statutory declaration cannot be certified. What that says for the political optics, it simply means you as well cannot be certified. So where are you going with this, Juliet Owens? The political optics as it relates to Andrew Owens' statutory declaration cannot be certified. Simply means it hinges on illicit enrichment. And here you are, right? Talking over the heads of Jamaicans. So then, okay, you are allowed to break all the rules and regulation, but others are not. So that's sound to me that it is a Napoleon principle you are bringing into the parliament. It's a dictatorship. It's a bull-dopey conqueror business. Bullbuck and dopey conqueror business. And you run things. a government badness, because I can break the rules, right? Andrew Holness statutory declaration cannot be certified, right? But we still allowed, right, to function in a truthful democracy. You would be rejected. Let us hear it. Let us hear it.
Today, many of us participated in Read Across Jamaica Day. We went into schools, read to children, encouraged them to learn, to listen, to reason, to respect themselves and others, and to become responsible citizens. What then is the example we set for those same children when we look at the parliament of...
What sort of example Andrew Holness, who hold aim of our politics? What sort of example Andrew Holness is setting when his statutory declaration cannot be certified? What sort of example you, Juliet Holness, is setting when you break the KSMAC building code at least flat? What example are you setting when you break NEPA environmental rules? So what is this you are saying to us? Let us listen to you.
Their country. If a student believes that a teacher has been unfair, do we encourage that student to disregard the teacher, disrupt the class, seize what does not belong to them, and refuse to follow instructions? Or do we teach the student that there are proper avenues to raise concerns, challenge a decision, and seek redress?
Hold on. Not too fast. What sort of example Andrew Holness is setting for his members of parliament when Andrew Holness, has not signed the code of conduct and influenced his subordinates not to sign the code of conduct? Here you are today, a hypocrite, a wolf in sheep clothing, telling people about ethics and morals, where that is totally eliminated as it relates to your ability to be ethical, your ability to be moral. And here you are speaking to us about discipline when you have none. Can you tell me, Juliet Holness, as to why the Prime Minister chose not to sign the code of conduct? Can you tell me, Juliet Holness, as to why the Prime Minister encourages men not to sign the code of conduct? Now, what example have you seen from Mark Golding? Mark Golding himself signed the code of conduct. Mark Golding himself instructed his men to sign the code of conduct, and they all signed the code of conduct. And here you are, right, talking over the heads of Jamaican. What is this you are saying to us? Let us play you and listen to you.
Of course, members of this House are not regarded as students, but the same principle applies here. A member may disagree with the chair. A member may disagree with her ruling or even believe that the process is unfair. But the answer cannot be disorder, defiance, or contempt for the institution.
Hold on, Juliet. It cannot be contempt for the institution. Let me ask you a question, Juliet Holness. Wasn't it Andrew Holness who took, proper English, his anti-corruption body to court? And what was the application about? Wasn't it that the application was about to do away with the illicit corruption law that covers under the Corruption Act? So then tell me something, Juliet Holness. What is it that you are saying to us? As I said earlier, that you now seems to be Napoleon the pig. Let us hear you.
The standing orders itself provides the avenues by which members may raise objections, seek clarification, challenge procedures, move amendments, divide the House, and place their disagreement on the record. Those rules exist not to silence members, but to protect every member, including those.
If God was like man, if God was like men, you would be getting a lightning ball right in Parliament today. If God was like men, isn't you the same one that push Angela Brownberg to respond, right, as it relates to voicing her contempt because you, Juliet Heartless, suppressing her? How many times she had rung the buzz and you act as if she's not there? She pressed the mic so many times saying, I want to rise on a motion. But as according to you, her voice cannot be counted where you are concerned, in spite of her constituents duly elected her. What you have done, you have taken away her voice in Parliament, and you have taken away the constituent support through the Member of Parliament. And so then you locked off any political representation to Angela Brownberg constituency, venting and voicing the concerns of that constituency. By deciding that you are going to shut her down, you are going to suppress her. And here you are with your hypocritical self. This is what you are saying now to us. Let us listen.
Those in the minority. Order is not the enemy of democracy. Order is what makes democracy possible.
Hi, I can't take any more of you. Let us go to Angela Brownberg. Because what is coming out of your mouth, right, is just BS. BS and BS. Let us go to more constructive, right, persons who deal with checks and balance and accountability. Let us, my Jamaican people, listen to Angela Brownberg. Let us listen to Angela Brownberg, right, explaining her position, right, in terms of her response relating to why she was pushed to, of course, touch the maze because she was suppressed. She was bullied, right? She was made to be silent in Parliament by Juliet Heartless, who admitted that she cannot be impartial. So let us listen to Angela Brownberg. This is such a disgrace in terms of what we are hearing from Juliet Heartless.
To be owned. I want to talk a little bit here now about about dignity, inclusivity, and identity. Social protection floors are not just about survival. They are also about dignity, inclusivity, and identity. Dignity requires that support be delivered in a manner that respects individuals, protects their privacy, and avoids unnecessary hardship and humiliation. Inclusivity requires the full and effective implementation of the Disabilities Act. Identity requires that policies recognize and respect the lived realities of all Jamaicans. Consider Rastafari, a pillar of our national identity, celebrated globally through music, philanthropy, and culture. Yet our laws treat it simply as a religion, overlooking its holistic essence and how that then influences spiritual sacraments, economic livelihood, natural health practices, and environmental stewardship. Yeah? Current protections do not go far enough. Yes, the amendments to the Dangerous Drug Act offer just partial relief, but without explicit constitutional.
One second, let me just bring it forward a little bit.
I'm duty bound, therefore, to live. I believe that there must be immediate corrective action. Last week, the minister indicated that 114,000 households were assessed. But I want to talk a little bit about that. Because honestly, the optimism and glee with which the minister speaks does not accord with the lived experience of the majority of individuals who are still reeling from the devastation of Hurricane Melissa. Many of them have not yet been assessed. They're not even so sure how to get assessed. Yes? The bully pulpit to say just about anything they want, and we have to sit silently. As educators, we know that we teach children differently from adults. We talk about pedagogy and andragogy because adults are self-directed learners, because adults want their experiences to be validated in how we deal with them. This is no different in the chamber. No one gets to come into the chamber, regardless of who you are, to pontificate and to scold the rest of us without taking responsibility for your own lack of decorum and disrespectful behavior.
Amen.
This, for me, is fundamental. It is about who we are, and it's about our identity. I say to my boys, I say to my nieces, when you are in a relationship, allow no one to strip you of your dignity. Allow no one to make you feel as if you are not worthy. I am duty bound, therefore, to live what I preach and to be an example to those that I have been saying, do not allow others to trample over you. I am very clear in my mind that every action has consequences. We are leaders. Choice making is what we do every day. We take decisions and we bear the consequences. And so I say to this august body and to my colleagues, I am willing to cooperate with anyone who is willing to treat me as a human being. I am willing to pay my part. Granted, I have never been a submissive female. It's too late for me to be that now. It's too late for me to be that now. So you will not get a submissive Angela in the chambers. No. However, I respect my colleagues. But there's a line I draw. If I come before you and every day you disrespect me, them say one day the bucket bottom I go drop out. And when it drops out, and I stand here today very, very clear, when it drops out, those who have the authority to punish, go ahead. Go ahead. History will absolve you. I do it not just for myself. I do it for those others who will come behind us and will remember that in this house we are all to be treated equally. that in this house, when we have certain positions, we put aside our political partisanship. And if we can't, we step aside from the position that we carry. And so I have, I am very clear. I have dropped a lot of what I had prepared to speak today because I believe that this is important. I believe this goes to the heart of our democracy. Democracy is not just about you wielding a sword. It is also about how you reach across the aisle and make accommodations and come to decisions to the benefit of all. I am tired of sitting here, pressing my mic, asking to be to say something, and you don't have even the decency of listening and then saying no. You are, none of us here, none is clairvoyant. None of you live in my head. And therefore, even though you think you know me well, you do not know what I am going to say when I press my mic. Give me the courtesy, accord me the respect as an elected member of this house to be heard. You then have the opportunity to determine whether it is okay or not for me to go ahead. I stand here as a representative of the people of Southwest St. Andrews.
Take that away, my Jamaican people. When you listen to Angela Brown Burke telling Juliet Owens that, listen, you are my student. I am the one that holding the PhD. I am Dr. Angela Brown Burke. And so then, I am your tutor. Don't you speak. And you're not speaking unity. I have been continuously pressing my mic to represent my constituency, and you denied me of that. I have Sister Lady Maria to address that for us. Sister Maria, when you hear these powerful arguments.
Yeah, just give me a few with this one.
Yes.
I have back to the speaker and then come forward to Dr. Brownberg.
Of course.
Now, the speaker in her statement was really projected because all she was talking about the discipline and the dignity and all, she was really talking about herself. So the accusations she made was basically projecting, it was a mirror being held up to who she is. And she talked about accountability, dignity, and and what her statement lacked was personal responsibility and accountability for her role in what happened. Because, we all grew up with this statement, and the Bible says that an offense will come, but woe unto the one who caused it, right? She is ready to chastise Dr. Brown-Burke, but she's not holding herself up to a higher standard, given that she's in that speaker's chair. And she has the duty to be a good steward in that role. And she talked about the teachers. If a student is disruptive in class, if a teacher is disrespectful to students in a class, which has happened, and a student speaks up and speaks out and reprimands or speaks to that teacher's disrespect, what is the role of that teacher? Is that teacher supposed to hold him or herself accountable? Not because that's your student. You also have a role to play by being a leader in that situation. You cannot also disrespect the student. So she's using the analogy of the teacher and the student. But look at what she did. The teacher left the classroom because she left the speaker's chamber when Angela Brown-Burke was to speak. So what does that say about her? That moment right there says more about the character of the speaker who is in the chair right now, Juliet Onis, than of anything else. That's what it does. So she indicted herself by her own statements and showed up her disdain, her disrespect of the opposition since she has been in that chair. So that is the one thing. And she talks about, the dignity of the House. The dignity of the House starts with the Prime Minister being able to statutory declarations being certified. That's where it starts. The dignity of the House starts with ministers not spending money and buying bus for $1 or getting it for free and then saying they spend $1.5 billion, $4 billion. The dignity of the House starts with ministers being able to present their receipts, their ministries being able to present their receipts for the monies that have been allocated to their ministries and how those monies were spent. That is what dignity of the Parliament is all about. The dignity of the Parliament is for her own members in her own party. They talk about the Westminster style of governance. They only do it selectively when they want to justify their bad behavior and their disrespect of others in the Parliament. Because if the true Westminster style of governance was being applied in the Jamaican space, Andrew would not be Prime Minister. And he would be held accountable for his statutory declarations yet to be certified. There would be an investigation into that. The public relations officer would not be at the Ministry of Health, moonlighting as a minister. He would have been held accountable. You could not have this massive cost overrun at one hospital and there's no investigation. So it is selective in what they in their approach, their application of the Westminster style of governance. Now, Dr. Brownberg, the one thing I regret about Dr. Brownberg, I regret she didn't throw the mace down Duke Street so it run down and them boys down the downtown take it and go make dodge pot. You understand me? It should be made into a dodge pot. Now they should be selling dodge pot downtown and making money off that mace.
Yes.
It's a relic of the 1700s that has more value than the members of Parliament sitting in the Parliament in the 21st century.
So true.
And the thing is, there's something, a cause and effect. What caused? The cause was the Nara bill.
Mm-hmm.
That is why Angela Brownberg got up and took up the mace, because she wasn't being heard, right? So that was the effect of that. Now, everybody is harping on the mace and the mace and the mace and the mace, missing the core important issue here, which is the Nara bill. And the Nara bill does not represent the interest of the people of Jamaica, period. It has nothing in there which speaks to the reconstruction of and the rebuilding of the lives of the persons who were affected by Hurricane Melissa. Absolutely nothing. Not one line, not one letter, not even a 50-cent stamp about them. Okay? And so that is the crux of the matter. And in a healthy democracy, you would have a vigorous debate about it. First of all, in the Westminster style of governance, the Prime Minister could not bring a bill to Parliament which indemnifies and legislates corruption. It couldn't happen. They would run him out of town. It couldn't happen. So what kind of Westminster style of governance are they really practicing? Right? And I really applaud Dr. Brownberg for not apologizing. There's nothing to apologize for.
Here you go.
Nothing to apologize for. And stand your ground, because if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And right now you look at, and remember now, this is a Prime Minister that has no respect for the Constitution of Jamaica.
Yes.
And it goes back to when he was opposition leader. What he did to Tufton and Arthur Williams was unconstitutional. That's when they should have realized that this man is not to be trusted with the Constitution. You cannot give somebody like this power. Yet they did. They did. Fast forward to when he became Prime Minister, what did he do? The Chief Justice appointed him temporarily for 6 months.
Yes.
Never happened. Never happened. So it looked like he was looking for his personal justice to apply it because he was watching him. And there was that massive outcry. And you see, when the people speak up, things change because the people with the power are more powerful than the people in power. And it is time for them to stand up, take their power back, and let these people know that they are the servants of the people are not their servants. And so I applaud Dr. Bromberg for what she said. And whether Juliet was in the speaker's chair to hear it, the Hansard has it. And history is going to vindicate Dr. Bromberg, but history is going to chastise and hold Juliet Holness to accountable. And our children are going to ask the question, how was this allowed to happen? How was this allowed to happen? That you have the speaker is the wife of the prime minister, and all this roughshod, and she has shown that she is incapable of being a good steward of the position that she's sitting in right now as speaker. And if she cannot take the heat, the best thing for her to do is get out of the kitchen. But the parliamentarians are not her children. She's not home arguing with her husband and her children. She's in the parliament. And being the speaker, it means she has to set aside the politics. It's time for, when they go to the parliament, it's governance, they go there for now. It's not to campaign. It's time for them to stop campaigning and stop politicizing everything. And I'm going to put a side note. Remember, it came out that Edmund Bartlett did it in 2003. The speaker then was Michael Peart. The deputy speaker was O.T. Williams. And no one can find anywhere where Edmund Bartlett was spoken to with such disrespect as Juliet Holness spoke to Dr. Bromberg. Nowhere. So she has to check her behavior, and she has to check her disrespect. She has been disrespectful. Her behavior has been repugnant, repulsive, demeaning, degrading. And so, in a word, she behaved like a virago, and it has to stop.
Yes. All right. Now we have it as it relates to what Sister Maria said, that Juliet Holness' behavior is outright despicable. Right, so we sum up all of that in just one definition: despicable. Now, melting pot, we have Juliet Holness, right, showing to the entire world that she's just a hypocrite, right? But we have, of course, none other than our comrade sister Angela Brownberg stood up in Parliament and pushed back and said, respect must goes both ways. You respect me and I respect you. Right? No dictator around here. What say you, Melting Pot, on the issue?
Well, the issue presents itself as a common theme amongst the holiness. Because if you remember, when the NITS was, in circulation for ventilation, Andrew nearly named off the little youth from UA Ed with this arrogancy. The same thing you see with Juliet in a parliament. So the common theme amongst the holiness them, because them run the country with iron fifth, as can to them. Them run things. Badness government. Them talk to people in all form of derogative way. I've seen it more than once with her in parliament. Yeah. She is assertive with her dominance given to her by the Prime Minister, Andrew Wallace. Because no way, shape, or form, she should have been the Speaker of the House. You can't have the husband as the Prime Minister and the Speaker of the House as the wife. Two of them put it together on a pillar and plan for rob the country. Them a plantocracy government. You understand? And we have seen it in various stage throughout them time over the decade where they run the country. But we have to ask the question, how we make a dishonorable Speaker of the House talk to an honorable member of Parliament in such derogative terms? Bully to the extent, get out. I said, hey, let me tell you, I like how Daisy phrase it. Should I take up the mace and fling it down Drew Street, make it roll, go make Dutch pot? Because there's no way you can be defending the mace in such a stern manner. Yeah. When what the mace represent, yeah, is a more, you know, beautiful policy when it comes to parliamentary system. It represents Westminster. Westminster don't run the parliament like out of market where Juliet come from. Yeah. Westminster carry a certain high level of responsibility and transparency. In any representative house, you're going to have people talking back and forth, but it don't get to this extent. And did Juliet try to de-escalate it? No. She add more fuel to the fire because she dominant. Yeah, and she have a thing for Miss Angela Brown. I see it from long time. It wasn't just last week. It's been happening weeks and weeks. They don't want to give her time to speak. Miss Angela Brown represent a wide community. Yeah? And her representation in Parliament is very fundamental for the people in our constituency. And if there's a subject matter that she needs to ventilate her views, then it must be heard. You cannot be locking off our mic. This is why I spend 18 million to put them in this mic system where them control it. Yeah, it's a dictatorship regime around the place, you know. When teacher can't get them salary increase to stay in the classroom, Andrew spend a bag of money to get the parliament when wanted. Yeah, to manipulate the parliamentary system we have and become the sole monopoly, him and his wife. Them spend 18 million putting the mic to turn on and turn off. And that is disrespectful. Yeah. Our parliament has become a marketplace. And the reason why it has become a marketplace is because you have the Prime Minister and you have the Speaker of the House as husband and wife. And they are known international criminals. They're known right around the world. So, remember, you know, the guy not certified and she not certified, you know. They are uncertified parliamentarian masquerading in our parliament. Them not supposed in our parliamentary system right now, you know, and cause these problems, you know. Because remember, I'm from 1998, Andrew not certified, you know, and Juliet likewise. The Integrity Commission will catch up with them in the 20s. But I'm from really 1998 because Andrew not tell the IC about the 47 million all now, you know. So here it goes. So we have to now understand, and as what Daisy just said, the people have to demonstrate that at them are the power and not the one them where them elect. Them that are servants. Yeah. But under this kleptocratic regime where we have, them becomes master over the people. We're not going to tolerate that no more. We are making sure that this year 2026 is the final year for the holiness them. They need to go. I'm just wondering why it's taking so long. Oh, we not hear nothing more about film case again. Wagwan. But we are get to the bottom of that soon. Yeah, because it seems like for them cases that open and close book. You just open it and you close it. Boom. And you're done with it. No. The movements of the people, yeah, are the strongest movement in the country. So you see all them judge we have ramped because them get paid off in a salary package and I protect the holiness them. Remember the people them have the power. Jamaican people who have the power, you know. And of them garbage there, you know. Them they are garbage, the holiness them. Who don't have the power. Just look what happened in Sri Lanka recently. That alone telling us they don't have the power. So if we have this little two numbskull, we from them idea them need them have criminal intention. to come take over the parliamentary system and run it like it's a dictator regime in place and it replace our democracy. We have problem with that. And we have to make with people them know say time come now for to make the change. Yeah. We are here echoing the sentiment, week in, week out. But we cannot make the change. We are highlighting the problem. And we are asking, isn't the message reaching the people at Jamaica? Look how long we are telling us how we've been led by corruptors. Evil corruptors. We can't see we are play out in front of the country gone. The holiness them take Jamaica for themselves and build it out. And when them not build it out, them friend build it out and can't do nothing, I remember Michael Manley, tell the farmer themselves to come off of the hillside and come down at the level. Yeah? Come take a piece of the pie. And what Jamaican do? Give the whole of the cake to the holiness them. Like them are idiot. And now the holiness them are trample all over my people them. Murdering the youths them. Through corruption. My people is through corruption. The holiness are killing out the young youth. Because when you have a government that pride itself on demonic and satanic affair, then you will have a country that all it does is shed blood every day. Because that's where the sacrifice come in. Because this guy wants to be the ultimate guy,
Melting Pot, use a minute to finish up because the file is big tonight and we want to quickly go through them.
All right, okay. Let me just finish up. Yeah. This guy come out and say him are the ultimate leader of the country. And when you have a guy talk about ultimate leadership, a dictatorship style. And every dictator, they are murderers. Yeah? Because they don't want anyone to talk to them. They want to dictate to people. And I yield back the floor.
All right. Now,
Byron, before you move on, I want everybody to consider this point as we go through and in their various conversations, that these are the same people, the ones who are defending the mace. These are the same people. And I understand the importance of the mace in the parliamentary system in Jamaica. That I understand. But that aside, these are the same people. This is the level of their hypocrisy. These are the same people who raked Mark Golding over the coals for being a British citizen by default because of his father. All right? And they said he must go back to England and all that furor. And the Speaker of the House, Juliet Wallace, was very much there when all of this was happening. She never once came out and said, we practice the Westminster style of governance. So he has every right to be in the parliament, whether or not he was born in England. Moreover, he was born in Jamaica. She did not come out and say that. So they can miss me with the values and attitudes and the dignity and miss me with all of that. Miss me that.
All right. What we are going to get into the subject matter in showing Jamaica, right, a clear pathway that Andrew Honest and Juliet Honest took in terms of wanting to be a dictator for Jamaica. And people, this is no joke. Juliet Honest and Andrew Honest, they are going there. They want to be a dictator. Now, the hypocrisy of it all as it relates to, even persons in the media, right, who knows very well that Mark Golding is a solid leader. I'm going to play something tonight, right? And I couldn't believe it, hearing this from Cliff Hughes. That Cliff Hughes is acknowledging that there is no better legislator in the parliament, right, than Mark Golding. This is actually coming out of the mouth of Cliff Hughes. So Jamaica, listen to this. And then, of course, we are going to dissect that.
Say what you want about Mark Jefferson Golding, but he is a damn good legislator. He is a damn good legislator. Several times throughout the several hours, yes, he was the one, yes, with the help of the contribution from the government side, who went through and interpret the wording, the phrasing of the provisions, some of the provisions of the bill, making very worthy assessments and providing guidance, obviously demonstrating his skills as a commercial lawyer. He did that. There were moments when he sought to say to, for example, some members of the government side, in particular one member of the government side, who was pushing a line that, no, it can't work so. Yeah, this is the better way. Yes? And I think for student of public policy and government, we should hold on to the proceedings of the parliament last week, Tuesday, because you saw the best of the Jamaican parliament and you also saw the worst of it.
Take it away. Now, this is something
Say what you want.
is so significant to all of us who are in receipt of this, as it relates to what Cliff Hughes, right, just said. And it is not about Mark Golding, right, being the best legislator. Something there that Cliff Hughes did not say. Mark Golding, as it relates to integrity, right, had demonstrated that throughout the entire history of his political engagement. But what we have seen is where, as a result of the corruption, and Jamaica seems to become more prone to corruption, it seems like the society, right, is now, you know, try to normalize corruption. I can't put it any better. The normalization of corruption. And even though you know that, okay, all right, Mark Golding is an excellent legislator, Mark Golding have the capacity, the ability to lead the country forward. Somehow, we put him down, and I'm going to speak something tonight. Many of us put down Mark Golding simply because he's white. Yes, let that sleep through your consciousness. Many will not see themselves, regardless of what Mark Golding had done in terms of integrity. He is white and they have one-track mind, a myopic cranium. And so then no matter what Andrew Holness had done, they themselves saying a black man time. We know say Andrew Holness wrong, we know say him a thief, we know say him a this, we know say him a that, but we don't care. And you know what? That's why I wanted to do a research and wake up that consciousness. And I have some clips that I want to present to show us black people in Jamaica that you have black Africans who participated in slavery. You have black Africans who enslaved blacks. The history is there. Now, yes, we know that, okay, all right, Europe at one point in time as it relates to their colonial power. But in the midst of that, no one knows about William Wilberforce, that white man, right, who fought for the slavery and fought for slaves to be free. But we can say all what we want to say about Margoli. What you have to say about Edward Seaga. And the irony goes on. Because also Michael Manley is white. So what are you saying? Michael Manley is white. And the truth be told, Jamaica, do you believe that Europe act alone in going to Africa and just enslave black? They were assisted by black men, by our own people, to enslave our own people. So when you look and you see Mark Golden fighting the fight in going against corruption, in saying nation building, we choose not to accept it. Many of us, including Karen Cross, who had spoken that clear. So let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. You have also Warmington that come out and spoke about that. Let me ask a question tonight. Who is robbing our black brothers and sisters? Ask that question. Let me get very serious tonight. Let us put Mark Golden and Andrew Holness in front of the class and ask, who is robbing the black people? Who is pressuring the black people? Who is suppressing the black people? Who went in to Olint and robbed investors knowing that Olint was a Ponzi scheme? Tell me which one of them do it. Tell me. Who, after benefited from Olint, robbing investors, mashing up the economy, went also in Cash Plus? And after rob Cash Plus and rob investors, went also into SSL. Who is now trying to protect those in SSL? Is it Andrew Holness trying to protect them, or is it Mark Golden? The very same people who rob many investors in SSL, who are trying to protect them. Which administration is trying to protect them? You tell me, Jamaica. Which administration? Now, Jamaica, I want you to follow me on these few clips. I'm going to show you something. I am going to show you something in terms of evidence of my research, to show you that Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness mean Jamaica no good. What I'm going to present to you tonight, I am going to present the many attempts that Andrew Holness had tried, you understand, to take over Jamaica and conquer Jamaica. Now, evidence number one. Let us go to the Supreme Court rules as it relates to NIDS unconstitutional. Jamaica people, I want you to follow me tonight. I am giving you evidence after evidence to show you that Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness, right? They want to seize power, monarchical power. They believe that they have entitled to suppress our people. Look at this. Supreme Court rules NIDS unconstitutional, declares law null and void. Here it is, people. Jamaica Supreme Court has ruled that aspect of the controversial National Identification and Registration Act NIDS are in violation of the Constitution and has declared the entire law null and void. Take it away, honey. Do you believe that Andrew Holness only did that? That was not the only thing that Andrew Holness did. Let us go to them to remind Jamaican people as it relates to Andrew Holness, trying so many times. Let us go to the information to show Jamaican people that Andrew Holness never stopped trying to take over power, right, to seize power, to become a dictator. Let us look on the next clip to show evidence. Let us look on the next clip to show the evidence, right, as it relates to what Andrew Holness is doing, right, becomes a dictator, right? So look at this, Jamaican people. I am showing you a pattern of behavior where Andrew Holness is concerned, right? That this man ought to be a dictator and he is trying all his best. And Jamaica, you don't see that? You don't see that? Right? It is just a crazy thing in terms of we Jamaicans sit and accept Andrew Holness, right, to do all of this. My Jamaican people, let us listen, right, and show you the pattern of it. Now listen to this. Now listen to this, Jamaica. So I just want to show Jamaica as it relates to the convincing evidence.
Landmark ruling by the Supreme Court of Jamaica is a resounding victory for the Constitution, for the rule of law, and for the people of Jamaica. The court has affirmed what the PNP has long argued, that the multiple and extended use of states of emergency as a routine crime-fighting tool is a violation of the Constitution's extraordinary emergency powers. The government's unprecedented declaration of 24 states of emergency over the period 2018 through 2023 represented a sustained abuse of an extraordinary executive power under the Constitution and a dangerous erosion of the rights and freedoms of the Jamaican people. The SOE, which is the Constitution's last resort mechanism against crises that threaten to subvert the democratic order of the state, was unlawfully deployed by the government as a tool of routine policing, often incorporating entire parishes and sometimes being renewed without parliamentary oversight. It is significant that recent statistics reveal a marked decline in murder rates, which has been accomplished by targeted law enforcement measures without recurring states of emergency. Today's landmark ruling by the Supreme Court of Jamaica is a resounding victory for the Constitution.
Just playing the many attempts, we don't finish there. Look at this, my Jamaican people. We are showing you the several patterns, the several attempts that Andrew Holness, right, trying, you understand, to breach our Constitution. And here is Juliet Holness, right, in Parliament, talking about people need to obey standing orders. And this is what his husband is doing. Look on the so many breach of the Constitution as it relates to Andrew Holness. Now look at this, permit voided. Now look at this. In a landmark decision on Thursday, Jamaica Constitutional Court ruled that a government minister cannot override the decision of an environmental regulator without clear, evidence-based justification, striking down a controversial 2020 permit for mining in the Dry Harbor Mountain of St. Anne's. Right? This is what Andrew Holness want to do. Breach the Constitution. Is that the first time, that the second time? In a unanimous judgment, Justice Sonia Wynne Blair, Andrew Thomas, and Tricia Hutchinson Shelley declared unconstitutional an environmental permit granted to Bengal Development Limited to mine bauxite, peat, sand, and other minerals in ecological sensitive area. Let us talk about this paragraph to show that Andrew Holness have no respect and no regards for the Jamaican people. Right? but selling out our sovereignty to crony capitalists so that they can go in, mine and disregard, taking away our minerals, taking away our backside, seek wealth over the people. Now, located between Royal Buena and Discovery Bay, the Dry Harbor Mountains have long been regarded as an environmental fragile, and Andrew Wallace knew that. But he willing to sell out the people. The court ruled that both the permit and the ministerial decision authorizing it were unconstitutional, void, and have no effect. Now you see why Andrew Wallace want NARA. Now you see why Andrew Wallace want NARA. This is a perfect example to tell you, Jamaica, what Andrew Wallace want to do with NARA to circumvent established laws and protocol. Look what Andrew Wallace had done here. Unconstitutionally that he acted. Giving them permit where they know that they are not supposed to give the permit. Circumvent, right? The legal authority. This is what Andrew Wallace is doing for greed, for money, for crony capitalists to enrich themselves at the back, on the back of the Jamaican people. Now, the ruling centers on the actions of the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Wallace, who was acting as minister responsible for the Natural Resource Conservation Authority, who Wallace had overturned the NRCA's rejection of Bengal development. Just imagine, you know, people, the established authority, which is NRCA, said no, they are going to deny the permit. But here is Andrew Wallace, right? With him greedy self, with him corrupted self, Wallace had overturned the NRCA's rejection of Bengal development application in October 2020, stating that he had decided to allow the appeal and set aside the decision of the NRCA. You know, said the man disrespect all Jamaican. You know, said the man disrespect with so much. You know, say Andrew Wallace is for crony capitalists. It has nothing to do with the Jamaican people in terms of building our economy and going forward. It's all about greed and corruption. Now look at this. A permit containing 76 conditions was subsequently issued on November 5th, 2020 and later amended amid public backlash. What is what Andrew Wallace had done? And so now here it is now that he wants to create NARA. But NARA is going to fail. NARA, you understand, is going to definitely fail. However, the court made it clear. The court pushing back on the evil of Andrew Wallace. The court is pushing back on Satan. However, the court made it clear to Satan that the inclusion of conditions did not satisfy constitutional requirement. It emphasized that a minister cannot lawfully override a technical body without providing a credible justification grounded in evidence. Now, let us quickly go back to the NARA. So for anyone who is saying that Andrew Wallace, in terms of crafting NARA, Andrew Wallace knew very well as it relates to the dictatorship, plan execution in terms of what he put in the bill. There was no mistake there. He wants to seek control because he had done it before. Time and time again. Not only once, not only twice. Andrew Wallace is a repeated offender of the Constitution. Andrew Wallace is a rapist of the Constitution. He dragged and raped the Constitution. A permit containing 76 conditions was subsequently issued on November 5th, 2020 and later amended amid public backlash. However, the court made it clear that the inclusion of conditions did not satisfy constitutional requirement. It emphasized that a minister cannot lawfully override a technical body without providing a credible justification ground. That's why he wants to make him now becomes the ultimate power in Nara. So anything in terms of Nara becoming that ultimate power where he sits on the helm, he will break down all regulatory bodies. He will undermine them, push them to the side. This is Satan himself you are looking on. The court has not been asked to decide whether development is good or bad for Jamaica. Justice Blair wrote, the court's task is much narrow and focused only on what the Constitution allows, she said, while emphasizing the need to balance economic development with environmental protection. What the Constitution does not allow, the court said, is for a minister to substitute the decision of a specialist regulatory body without demonstrating a sound and rational basis for doing so. Now, so these are the reasons why Andrew Owen is creating NARA, so that NARA can be the ultimate power and where we can circumvent all regulatory bodies. The NRCA had originally refused Bengal's application, warning that a quarry of the proposed nature, size, scale, and intensity would have a deleterious impact on the environment and surrounding communities. It further found that the potential loss of the biodiversity in the area would be irreplaceable. Andrew Ownless want to invite him crony capitalists to come in and yam a food, and yes, we can get some kickback around the back. Him no care about the environmental protection, and so then his wife can also breach NEPA. You understand? Because he's in control of NEPA. Look at the corruption. The approval followed an appeal process under the NCRA Act. Then Minister Leslie Campbell first allowed the appeal in July 2020, with Ownless later affirming that decision. You see the criminality, people. Reacting to the ruling, King Counsel Michael Hilton, who led the resident legal challenge, said the implications extend well beyond the specifics of the case. It speaks to the limit of executive power that Andrew Ownless also now want to put in NARA, that executive power. Where does the policy making and other decision making power of a minister or government body stop? He will delete all of them. And what are the limitations he can ask? He argued that when a minister exercises appellate authority to overturn a decision made by a technical body, there must be a clear and demonstrable basis. We have seen that Andrew Ownless is a dictator in spite of people suffer from Melissa. The Building Association, the Skilled Builders of Jamaica, told Andrew Ownless not to go down the route of containers, but to build proper infrastructure to make the society become resilient. Did Andrew listen? No, because he is a dictator. Take that away. Let me show you another final document, and then I go to the panel to show you that Andrew Ownless indeed is a dictator indeed. Look at this. Do we remember this? Constitutional reform is dead, or is it? Look at this, right? Reporting from Nationwide, right? Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Ownless has accepted that the goal of transforming Jamaica into a republic at this time has been dashed. Of course, the Prime Minister places the blame of the failure squarely at the feet of the opposition leader Mark Golding. Yes, because of what you wanted to do. And I tell you that NARA is not going to pass, and he's going to blame the opposition to say that it is the opposition You understand? Who is holding back the country by not passing NARA? He wants to just be a dictator. Here is the evidence. Where he's blaming Mangolin as it relates to the failure of the constitution reform. Because what he wants to do, he wants to make himself a dictator. So does this mean that the Constitutional Amendment Republic Bill 2024 to create a republic that was tabled in Parliament on December 10, 2025 is now officially dead? It appears so. In the eyes of many Jamaicans, it was dead on arrival due to inadequate public education and engagement about the Constitution and the reform process. Take that away on it. Now, let me just turn to Sister Maria. Sister Maria, when I see the many attempts that I have shown as it relates to Andrew Holness, just wanted to be a dictator so much, he went to his bed, he dreamed of becoming a dictator. When he eat his breakfast, he dream of becoming a dictator. Eat his lunch, dinner. You understand? Everything that Andrew Holness is doing, he dream to become a dictator. What say you on this matter, Sister Maria?
Well, you know, normalized corruption has long-term effects because there's a domino effect when that happens. And I don't know which democracy in the world legislates corruption. I don't know which prime minister who believes in the democratic process, the Westminster style of governance, because they like to talk about it, and goes to the parliament with a document that says, I alone, as the prime minister, have the right to appoint a CEO. No board, just a CEO. And I have the right to overrule every agency, every department, any ministry that objects to something that I say or the CEO says that must be done. And you're talking about billions of US dollars that he decides that he must be responsible for spending. No, this is not money that was given to him as a gift, you know. This is monies that were money that was borrowed, and they were able to get this kind of lending because of what happened with Melissa, the category of Melissa. They had to suspend the fiscal rules. Those fiscal rules have been suspended for 2 years. When that expires, they can no longer do that. So it means, therefore, that there has to be a meticulous and approach to handling this kind of money. You cannot just sit down and just spend it willy-nilly. You have to spend the money on infrastructure to prevent another Melissa from happening and having the effects that this Melissa did. And the reason Melissa was so devastating to the country is because of the poor infrastructure. Now, you talked about the Bengal issue, the constitutional court issue that came up on, I think it was either Thursday or Friday. And it talk about timing, because this happened on the heels of what happened in the parliament Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And here's this open rebuke of the prime minister, which is the very same thing that the opposition is pointing out in the NARA legislation, that you cannot have somebody appoint himself as the banker, the executioner, and the judge over this kind of money without any guardrails whatsoever, because it's not about NARA and what it's in essence wants to accomplish. Yeah. It's about how they're going about it. Nobody is against doing something to reconstruct and rebuild the country after a major disaster. The problem they're having is doing so without any accountability. No democracy operates that way. So when they're saying that, and the two lines that get me with this NARA bill is the indemnity clause and the clause that punishes the whistleblower. right? So you're saying that the person steals the money and he has a right. He can go to the courts. He goes to court and he's found guilty. He can say, "Oh well, I did it in good faith," and it is the taxpayers who has to pay those legal fees. And the person who sees something wrong and speaks up about it, that person will be taken, will be arrested, charged, and will also pay a fine and be subject to imprisonment.
Yes.
Now, tell me what kind of backwards, back-a-wall friggery this is, because this is nonsense.
Exactly.
It is, you sit and you watch it, and it makes your blood boil. You say to yourself, so hold up a second. Is the Prime Minister in his right mind? Because the truth of the matter is, it is the duty of the Parliament to legislate. But it's not the duty of the Parliament to legislate and put power in the hands of one man and legislate corruption, because that is basically what is happening here. Power is concentrated in the hands of one. And here's the thing: this is the Prime Minister has about 19 different ministries under his portfolio, and
correct.
all of them have to deal with the environment, with permits. And when you look around now, how could you want to destroy the Dry Harbor Mountains, the ecology? You destroy the environment, the oxygen. The people who live there are telling you that they'll be affected. The National Conservation Authority is telling you no. The technocrats, the scientists, the people with the skill sets say no, this cannot be done. And you who does not have the skill set, you are saying to them, okay, yeah, I don't care, but I'm going to do it anyway. So who are you representing?
Exactly.
Pardon me. Who are you representing? And he took an oath to protect the people of Jamaica, but he's not doing that. And therein lies the shame.
All right. Well said, Sister Maria. Before I bring in Brother Melting Pot, let me just engage with the caller and hear what the caller has to say. Yes, caller, you're on Mystic Sensation Live. Go ahead.
Good night, Mr. Mystic. I tell Marie good night already.
Yes,
good night, Miss Maisie. I like to see you, as a female there, burning the fire.
All right.
Melting pot.
Good night, my dear.
Now, with your oldness. You see, when you have dirt on you, be careful when you pointing the finger. Because it's going to come right back to you. And that's exactly what happened. And I am so happy it happened. Why? If she don't learn a lesson from this situation, she has not learned. She has gotten a dose of her own medicine. And she think she was really teaching Angela Brown Burke.
Yeah.
But she did the random. What an eloquent lady.
I'm telling you.
She represents the female gender. I am so excited, so proud of her, because I know I not take the foolishness neither. Mm-hmm. She has my middle name, Angela. And that's another part of it. We're not in the foolishness. We speak truth to power.
All right.
Anyway, this text came to me, and I say I must read it and let you hear, and then you can take from it. Yes. Joshua chapter 1. And it goes up to 9, but I ain't going there because of your time. So I will just go just a little bit, perhaps from 1 to 4 or so, and finish. And it begins like this. Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. That's a command to Joshua from God to be courageous, to be strong, because he's leading the people to take over the land. All right, let me just skip here so like a part and then be done. So therefore, we are heading somewhere, and we know that we want back the power. We want back Jamaica, right? So we can resonate with that. All right, key details. The command, God tells Joshua to be strong, courageous, because he's going to take over the land. That's a promise of authority. God promises there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. Reason, God promises his presence. I will be with you. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. Isn't that something?
Yes.
So, Angela, this text and my comrade people, this text resonate with me a lot. Because people are having fear, Mystic people.
Yes.
We need not have any fear if we have God and we're standing on a sure foundation.
Yes.
Be strong. God give us the command. Go with God. Be like a David.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We can't be, but we're afraid to come out. No. God is there to protect us. He give us the command, and he's expecting us to obey him and do what he says. Okay?
All right.
I leave it right there.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate those texts, right? Reminding us, right, and reminding Angela Brownberg that do whatever as it relates to the will of God. You're fighting for the people, cause and need. Now, before let me say this. Let me just have Melting Pot to give his input as it relates to that clip. Melting Pot?
Yes, sir, Byron. Well, we know the NARA subject matter has become an issue. Yeah. But may I ask my civil Jamaican, should we be even discussing anything in regards to NARA when the Prime Minister already have a super ministry, yeah, known as Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation?
Yes,
have that in, and at the same thing like NARA. But what has happened, my Jamaican people? That ministry has failed miserable like many other of his project. And what he's doing is duplicating Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, replacing it with NARA. But it's the same fundamental duty.
Same objective. You're correct, Melting Pot. Same objective.
Not
but it's a
change.
big area. Yeah.
Yeah. But the prime objective reason for NARA is to create another avenue for corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where he has the ultimate power to oversee NARA. But let us look back into some other, criteria. I will ask yourself, Jamaican people, who know say a dictatorship the guy I use.
Exactly.
A dictatorship, because we have not only seen Andrew wanting to be a dictator, but he has demonstrated style of dictator governance. And I'm going to go into some category of ultimate control. The man have 51 agency a year. Sister Days magazine say 19. No, it's 51 agency my band I wins. 51. Yeah. No. Oh, you have a prime minister who is charged with day-to-day responsibility of running a country, but has so many agencies that he preside over. So where are the other civil servants in the country? Who are the people working within these agencies? It can't be him. You have other people working, but him control the power from all of them. They must play a second fiddle to him. So we look on that. We are going to look into another aspect now. And dictatorship style. We have never seen any prime minister change the police outlook. What type of uniform them fit in? This guy come and change it. Them got Israel. If you look on the Israeli police, them are the same denim the Jamaican them are wear. And when you merge that with the JDF, it's just different color in them, but you make them look like them are military, the police force. And when him do, my Jamaican people, if you notice, him alone deal with giant military operation and we don't have no state of emergency, we don't have no ZOZO, we don't have no disaster risk management act, but him a do giant military operation. Because him want the soldier them panel, you know. The soldier them, him take them out of Up Park camp and spread them all over the place and do giant military operation when the soldier should not be on the road with the police. The soldiers don't deal with civilian matters, but him have them out there and we see a lot of damage where them go on with. That is dictatorship style of governance. Yeah? No, you move further, appeal, yeah? And what the guy do? We have some little problem in the US. Yeah? Another country, first world country where Jamaican go. You know what the guy do? Tell them so them to meet them Jamaica. When them come back at Jamaica, because the Jamaica where them leave and go overseas, I know the Jamaica where them a come back to. I want to know if the landscape change. Because Jamaica can't change, you know, it's the same place. So how is not the same Jamaica them coming back to? What is the fundamental reason for this guy opening thinking mouth and I tell the people them that? And that we want to ask the dictator. You understand? So me I tell my Jamaican people, this guy has been demonstrating dictatorship style of governance. Not wanting to, but demonstrating it. It is out there. It is out there. And it's plain for everyone to see. Unless you are blind to the fact of who is Andrew Heartless. He's a crime minister that is not certified nowhere in the world where he go. Everybody look on him as criminal. But Jamaican people are arms and glove up this man and want to lift him up and put him high above Sir Marky G. Sir Marky G squeaky clean, man. Come on, man. You don't know that, man? Remember, Sir Marky G signed the code of conduct, you know. He not have no problem with that. And remember, he's not under investigation. Every year, everything certified and clear. You understand? So we know who are the man for run the country. We want a clean leader. We want a man that will preserve democracy and not try to incorporate dictatorship within our society. We have to make sure we know that democracy will enable all Jamaicans to have freedom of speech, freedom of movement. Yeah? And you will have your rights to your democracy. The 1944 People's Act tell it all. Right? And this guy coming and trying to change the landscape, trying to make a mockery out of the voters. Yeah? Even them own supporters. That's what he's doing. And we have to call a spade a spade. This man has reigned for a decade. And look where he has taken Jamaica. He has taken Jamaica into an unwanted territory where Jamaican police have the highest murder rate. 1 a day last year and 2 a day this year. Mighty God. And no other prime minister anywhere in the world, police not kill civilian like in Jamaica. And you have to look for our population. Just roughly 3 million. And when you take out the young born and the senior citizen, you know what the man do? The man destroy the seed of the country. The man kill out the youths them. 1 a day last year and 2 a day this year. And what you gonna have now? You gonna have less fertility in the country. No birth now go on. So my Jamaican people, you see them Chinese, them 200,000, and them are going to replace the black people in Jamaica. You see the Indian, them from India, them are going to also farm a vast amount of the population number, because remember them breed regularly, you know. And the Israeli way have down there, you know, be careful, them no good. So Jamaican people won't want the country where the ancestors them fight for in the 18th century, take now way back. And they so put them blood, so them blood not shed for nothing. all the life where we lost amongst our African brothers and sisters. Is that just something of scant regard? How much do we preserve that history amongst our black brothers and sisters? Yeah. When we say emancipation, yeah, from mental slavery, yeah, how do we value that? We just give it to a guy, we say him come from the bowels of the poor, born in a 1-bedroom, sometimes 2-bedroom, use chimney, go to school with 60 picnic in a one class. Him the born with gold spoon in his mouth, but him are the richest man in the Commonwealth. Film administration get the most money as politician salary. My Jamaican people, no better wake up, you know. You no better wake up to the reality of the whole of this administration. It has nothing set in stone for the black population. This is why every day our brothers and sisters get murdered. But the Chinese, them, oh, they are well protected. The Asian, oh, they are on them wings. Because remember, Dushan Shabbat, wash money for him. The Israelites, them, oh, they are a Messiah. But the black people are lamb to the slaughter. I yield back the floor.
All right.
Yeah, one thing on there, Mystic.
Yes.
The Prime Minister had the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, but it has since changed to Economic Growth and Infrastructure. So it changes based on his need. And you know, the truth of the matter is that the duty of the Parliament to legislate in the interest of the Jamaican people, not in the interest of monuments to self. Cannot spend that money, and they have to I don't care. There's a likelihood of it passing, Mystic, because they have the numbers and they just need a simple majority, not a 2/3. So there's a likelihood of it passing. But the question will be what aspects of it can be taken to court, because I'm sure the Constitution doesn't allow for the government just to be a law, a prime minister just to be a law unto himself. It has to go, there are procedures and protocols that must be followed. You know, go to the Joint Select Committee of Parliament and they hammer out the details there. And then you come and you present the bill in the interest of the people, not in the interest of self, you know?
Yes. Well, obviously, as it relates to the NARA bill, whenever it reaches the Senate, right, it is going to pass on a simple majority. And then, of course, goes to the Governor General. And then, of course, we're going to take it to court. So the same thing as it relates to the constitutional boundaries that it hinges on, right? The court is going to crush that. Because really and truly, when you have established statutory bodies, right?
Yes.
That already established, that already been there, right?
In the Constitution.
Circumvented. So the very same in terms of how he had lost the Bengai situation, as it relates to what the judge is saying, right? The judge is saying to him that when you have an established statutory bodies, right, then you cannot circumvent that, right? And that is exactly what he's doing into the NARA bill. And remember, every time he goes to court, Mark Golding took him to court, right? He always lose, right? So
yeah, but Mystic.
Yes.
He shouldn't feel, you know, they say it with their full chest that because of Mark Golding, the constitutional reform thing didn't go up. That's a proud moment for Jamaicans. Exactly. Because he stood up in the interest of Jamaican people, because the constitutional reform report that was presented, which was chaired by Marlene Malahoo Ford, who was the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, had nothing in it about the people. The people were not front and center of that constitutional reform process. So who was it for? It was for the political class, how to ring-fence their safety, their security, secure tenure, for them to do one roughshod around the people, and the people cannot hold them accountable. Who writes a kind of a constitution? No sane society, no democratic society. And if they really are serious about rectifying that, then Mark Golding did the right thing of saying, no, we can't support this. We cannot support this, because this is not about now, you know. This is about now and for the decades to come. So it has to be they have to get it right now. And you see, you can draw a through line from the Constitutional Reform Committee report to NARA and what they have in common. What is the common thread? Lack of accountability.
Lack of accountability. That is the common denominator, right? Thank you for that. Now, Jamaica, I want to wake you up. And here is how I am going to wake you up, Jamaica. Of all the programs that Andrew Holness promised and all the programs that Andrew Holness, right, put through, they all failed. And we have the evidence in terms of the failure. We are not just saying, we are going to show you that everything that Andrew Holness hands touch, it's failure. People need to understand the history of promises that Andrew Holness had promised. He has never delivered. Now, let us go back in time and show you as it relates to the gross failure and wickedness of Andrew Holness. And we're going to show you something, that Andrew Holness is originally a scammer. This is the evidence that I'm going to show you. Listen to this.
One of the things that I know affecting whole heap of people in Jamaica is the high electricity bill. When the PMP come into power, them say them going to bring down electricity costs. What has happened since? Electricity costs keep rising. They promise that by 2016, they would have made the JPS more efficient with more efficient plants. That's not going to happen till another 2 years. And before you know it, it will be another 3 or 4 years before them actually do it. The Labour Party will make sure that we put in place more efficient electricity generated plants to bring down the cost of electricity to you. I don't like to make promise. I make commitment. And under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants. We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies that can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
Take him away, honey. Take him out. Take him away. Let me quote the words to the public. Show you the snake eyes salesman. We are going to ensure that we bring in the big energy company so that your cost of your electricity bill can go down. So Jamaica, let me ask you, did he deliver on that? No. We all know that he did not deliver on that. Now, just imagine, I'm going to show you the brutal wickedness with Andrew Holness. In 2015, on his campaign when he said that. That was one of the reasons why people voted him in. But when he went in, what do you think he had done? He had instructed Heartless to do what? Move the protection that the People's National Party have on the electricity bill. Right in 2017, Andrew Holness increased the cost of energy to you people. Let us show the evidence. Let us get into the evidence. Let us show the evidence. The man who promised that he is going to ensure, the word ensure is the operative word, that he will be bringing in the big energy sector. Well, this is the big energy sector where I'm bringing in Minister Paper number 17/17. This is the big energy sector. So look for the big energy sector I'm bringing. I'm going to show you something, people. Look at now. See it now? Just look what Andrew Holness had done in 2017. The wickedness of this man. I don't know how Jamaica, summary of measures together with the expect revenue impact is provided in the table below. Special consumption tax, right? This goes in billion. You see what he make out of it? Adding more taxes, right? Increase the taxes. $403 million him get off it. See ya? $403 million tax to the people. Increase in size and tobacco products from $14 to per stick to $17 per stick. You know how much him get off of that people? See then, $826 million tax to the people. Increase in specific SCT and fuels. You know how much him get off of that people? More tax to you. $7,459 million. Apply GCT at 16.5% to group health insurance. You know much revenue you get from that? $1,884 million. Now, so I'm doing, so I'm promising now, as it relates to, he's going to bring in the big energy sector and ensure that your electricity costs reduce. So I'm doing, reduce the threshold for the application of GCT and the consumption of residential electricity from 350 kilowatts to per month 150 kilowatt per month. Let me explain this because some people don't really understand what it means. It simply means for a house, for a person at his household who is using electricity, you will not be taxed, right? If you are under 350 kilowatt. Portia Simpson make sure so them should protect you. You have to pass 350 kilowatt to be protected. You know what Andrew has done? See it, reduce it to 150 kilowatt per month. As a turn on a light, it reach 150 kilowatt per month. You see how much you get for it? $1,498 million. And see there, he make Heartless Shaw sign off on it. See there, Heartless Shaw, Minister of Finance and the Public Service, 2017. Take away that money. Now, Andrew Holness said that when he went in, right, he's going to ensure he brought in the big energy sector to do what? To help out the Jamaican people so that their electricity bill can become cheaper. Now you see what Andrew Holness had done with you, Jamaica. Now look at this. Let us play this. Look at this. It doesn't stop there with Andrew Holness. Everything he touches fails. We are just showing the evidence so that people can take the warning. Everything he touches fails. Now listen to this. Everything that Andrew Holness touches.
So the browser cannot access.
Right?
Access the screen.
Fail.
Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half truths and trick you into voting for them. And then when they win, them throw on poison for you.
100 days. The fixed election day. Still I wait for the promise to fulfill. One broken promise after another. Laughable. As I said, none of your promise not fulfill yet, boss. So there you wait.
Within the first 100 days of our government, we will start the legislative process to institute impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection of the Parliament to ensure that only members of unquestioned integrity sit in the Parliament.
All ministers under the new Jamaica Labour Party government will be given a job letter. That job letter has a timeline of 2 years and 6 months with key performance targets, which are agreed upon by the cabinet, focused on two things: economic growth and job creation.
Andrew, you need to do what you said from 2016. You say you're going to put it on paper. So anything you put on paper, the MP have to work with it. So you need to do it now. I feel like, say, when you do that, the MP will do them work and we will see work done in the community.
Within the first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to introduce term limits on the office of Prime Minister.
Unless breaking promise and nothing him say I'm gonna do, you know, for the next 100 days, and now him not do nothing. Him not keep no promise, and him say I'm the promise keeper. What a promise, John Star.
At a convenient time within our new government, we will hold a grand referendum on the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, as the final appellate court.
You make so much promise for us. Look how long you're in there. Nothing done. All for the COVID. They promised the people them $25,000. Nothing done. Huh? So what you expect me to do? Tell me if you sleep with the door and window open and nothing done.
Let us show Jamaica that we will never forget. I said earlier that nothing that he promised he had delivered on. Now let us look at this. Honest, upbeat, and long discussed 5% growth. You remember that Andrew Honest talk about 5% growth? Right? Look at this, my people. Right? Look at this. 5% growth in 4 years. Right? Now, this is Andrew Honest. Nothing that this man promised, no project that he has come true. Everything failed. Everything failed. Prime Minister Andrew Honest has revived talks of hitting gross domestic product, GDP growth of 5 to 6%, albeit missing the mark on a 5 in 4 growth plan, right? His administration had pitched back in 2016. Back then, the measures put forward by the Economic Growth Council formed, right, to steer the growth, including maintaining macroeconomic stability and pursuing debt reduction, improving citizen security and public safety, improving access to finance and pursuing bureaucratic reform to improve the business environment. Honest plan to get to 5 or 6% growth. This time around mirrors its previous strategy, except that much of the foundation for growth has now been laid and there is a stronger focus on tackling violence in the country, right? This has been collapsed as it relates to the 5% growth. It did not stop there. So when the 5% growth failed, he gone to the STEM and STEAM. Let us look if the STEM and STEAM goes anywhere. Every project that this man talk about fail. STEM and STEAM school, crucial part of government education transformation plan and legacy. Look at these people. The Prime Minister Andrew Honest says the government is eager to move ahead with plans to construct 6 STEM schools and 1 STEAM school as a part of the overall plan to transform Jamaica education system. The Prime Minister said the environment in which children learn is critical to the achievement of high educational outcome. And yet, you understand, his own advisor, Rural Reid, rub up the education money. He said our teachers are the most important variable in education, and yet him take over 200 and 300% raise and only decide to give the teacher them only 20%. But we cannot underestimate the value of the infrastructure that is necessary to support a transformed education system. And guess what? The education system is worst under Andrew Holness administration. Take it away. We're not done yet. We only showed people the history of the failure of Andrew Holness government. We don't look at this now. Look on the next one, right? Andrew Holness address commits to moving minimum wage, right, to 32,000. Listen on this.
The livable wage simply is what the average person needs to survive for rent, utilities, education, food, and emergencies. Over the next few years, in our third term, we will double the minimum wage from $16,000, what we have carried it to now, having almost tripled it, to $32,000. In our first budget, the minimum wage will move from $16,000 to $18,500, and then gradually after that for the next few years. It is necessary to do this, and I want all Jamaicans to appreciate how our economy has changed. Yes, it's important for quality of life, but here's the big problem. At 3.3% unemployment, you are practically at full employment. People are not making a decision to leave what they are doing. Many of them are at home. Many of them are at the street side. Some of them are hustling. And so the incentive to work at that level is not strong enough. So by increasing the minimum wage gradually, you shift the incentive to work in favor of work. So you're going to get more Jamaicans voluntarily deciding to move out of the unemployment pool.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Jamaica. Andrew Holness is the only prime minister in the Caribbean that make Santa Claus real. Only prime minister in the Caribbean that makes Santa
I believe in Santa Claus, and so I don't want to equate Santa Claus with Andrew Holness.
No, we're not finished with him yet. Now look at the last disaster what Andrew Holness had done as it relates to his promise. Look at this, and then we go to the panel. Now look at this. And this one is pretty much serious. This one is now we have to ask the Integrity Commission to investigate. Listen to this one. Because this one is the most dangerous one. First 300 semi-permanent housing units have arrived in Jamaica. Andrew Holness did not only promise. Andrew Holness now tell an outright lie to the Jamaican people that 300 semi-permanent housing units have arrived. Mighty God, it can't get worse than this. This is March 21, 2026. Look what Andrew Holness is saying to the people of Jamaica. The first 300 semi-permanent housing unit for families who lost their homes during the passage of Hurricane Melissa are on the island and are being cleared for distribution. Him can't take back this. Him can't take back this. This is what he said, Jamaican people. That the first 300 semi-permanent housing unit for families who lost their homes during the passage of Hurricane Melissa are on the island and are being cleared for distribution. What a wicked son of a gun. Prime Minister Doctor, the most honorable, and you know what? Prime Minister Doctor, and not even Doctor neither. Prime Minister, the most criminal and despicable Andrew Holness made the disclosure during his contribution to the 2026-27 budget debate in House of Representatives on March 99, and the House the man go say this. He noted that 2,500 semi-permanent housing solutions have been procured by the NHT at a cost of US $19 million US. 19 million US. Deployments of the unit is part of initiative being implemented by the government under the umbrella of the Shelter Recovery Program. Through the initiative, the NHE is expected to procure a total of 5,000 semi-permanent houses for distribution to address urgent housing needs following Hurricane Melissa. Now take this away on it. Let me ask Andrew Honest one question. Andrew Honest, you said more than 300 semi-permanent housing unit arrive in the island. Andrew Honest, may I ask you, please show me 10 of them. Jamaica, this is not funny. Andrew Honest, may I ask you, please, you must hear about Mystic Sensation. Show us 10 of those houses. The wickedness, the lies, and the con that you continue to fool our Jamaican people. And by this now, for some Jamaican people who are not taking the street, may I say, yes, them love the con. Them want the con. And when we are telling the Jamaican people, say, take the street. This man is a con artist, he is a scammer, he is a criminal. Let me just make Sister Daisy speak to this issue. Sister Daisy.
You know, you have to keep yourself from crying at the level of deception and the things that come from this man's mouth. Because if he was really serious about addressing the problems of corruption, he would have brought an impeachment bill to the parliament. And he would have done, because he can do something about that. And I'm sure he would have gotten full bipartisan support with an impeachment bill, a set date for election, and also term limits on the prime minister. He would have gotten full, with, as long as it's done with the people in mind, he would have gotten support for that. But he wasn't serious. He only wanted to get in so he can run roughshod around the Constitution and the Jamaican people. But, you know, when you stop to think, we are 20, today's what day? Today's the 4th? No, today's the 5th.
Yes.
So we are 26 days away from the start of our next hurricane season. And the way global warming has, the environment has been warming up at a very fast pace.
Yes.
So it makes natural disasters more frequent and more ferocious. So just imagine the persons who victims of Beryl and then were victims of Melissa, who are now sitting and just praying to God that the season was not as bad as it was last year. The government has done nothing substantial to address the issues facing the people in the western part of the country while having so much money. What are they waiting for? And instead of ordering tin cans for Jamaicans to live in, which will not address the infrastructure problem, you know, because the weather getting the seasons getting as bad as they are right now will just create more hazards for the persons who will have those things. It should be temporary, not permanent. And when a person gets a container home as a donation, I can understand that. But when you, as a government, are giving container homes as replacement for physical structure, that is problematic, because the 19 million US that it cost, they should have put that money down in the West and go to the Master Builders Association of Jamaica and figure out how they can use that money to build physical structures, concrete structures, to withstand the kinds of storms that will come. So it is a lack of foresight on the part of the government to not have taken the advice of the opposition, to not have taken advice from private sector people and from other persons within the country who are saying, build out block, sand and steel, build out physical infrastructures, identify spaces that you can build, and that would have impacted the economy in a real and tangible way. Because when you have where you have major construction, you're going to have shops, you're going to have little businesses coming up. You see, so it is a shame that he has this pretty talk. But you know, you talk about own goal when he talks about politicians making promises and saying nice things and then them throwing poison for you. He was talking about himself because that's exactly what he's doing right now. Exactly what he's doing. You know, but I feel for the Jamaica and to those who sold their votes for $5,000 and 2 pieces of Kentucky Fried Chicken, how is it working for you now?
Exactly. All right. Well said, Sister Maria. We are going to close a little bit early, so we're going to have Melting Pot close us out. So Melting Pot, right, based on all the presentation of the clips and the lies, this deceit, Melting Pot, you're closing us out, right? Speak at length in terms of, you know, your input there.
My input is that I'm looking at a 3-card man. You know, in the 3-card man, 3-card man trick you, him con you, and him deceit every aspect in your head. Yeah, him lie to you. So a trick can lie and scam. That is Andrew. No, all the things that him promise people, him not really deliver nothing, you know.
Nothing.
No power plant, no come to Jamaica. I see him GPS around the place. I remember all the Shah not only remove a portion of the safety net, him take away everything, a zero right there from 350 kilowatt per hour. So when you look on all them things there, Jamaican people have to open them eye, you know, to this guy here. The reality I steer them in front of them eye. He's just a 3-card guy. Yeah? He will trick you, he will scam you, and he will con you. Yeah? No, electricity has gone up enormously. It hasn't reduced. Yeah? And everything else like the impeachment, in bypass that, many members them, yeah, them say goodbye to that. So I'm looking at a guy who's supposed to be behind bars. Not a guy who's supposed to be still at large masquerading as a prime minister, because we all know him as a crime minister. Yeah? So my Jamaican people get that straight. We can move further afield now. I said it a couple of weeks ago. Daisy Comanche echo the same sentiment. The hurricane season is just around the corner. And I know for a fact that the Master Builders Association, yeah, which comprise of architect and engineer, yeah, 3 main aspects of Jamaica Builders Association, I've told him in no uncertain manner, and nobody should have even said nothing to him because the man run out and say, I will build back the place better and stronger.
Exactly.
Or stronger or better, something of that narrative. Yeah. But container house is not something that you can say you're building better for the future. Because container house can't withstand none of the elements them. Can't withstand hurricane, probably can't withstand a proper storm, much less a category 5 hurricane. And it can't withstand earthquake. So a waste of 19 million US. We give him the idea how to build back the country, you know. And a 7 month now. Yeah. And him still alive. But me glad him now. Byron, you say you want 10. Him to show you 10. Me don't want him show me none because we waste taxpayers' money with them there. Yeah. Me just want the man just go through, put the workers them in a Jamaica. Yeah. Because it look like if the Chinese them never have so much work, he would have go with the building process, you know. Because Chinese alone him want to build Jamaica, you know. My Jamaican skilled men and women, because we have women now in the construction field, them supposed to they are at work even 5 months ago now. And we fi get back roof, and we fi build back from out of the earth, build from out of the earth. Because you have different aspect of building. You have people who get damaged. Just them roof, you put back them roof. Yeah? As a matter of fact, me know very well that if him did give the Builders Association the contract, they would have sought the workmen them from within the parishes. Yeah, and they would have also bring some of their workmen from inner the city. Yeah, like the skill tech man them, project manager, and make sure now the work are run. Yeah, because several houses to build, thousands of houses to build. Now that would that tell me say I spend the taxpayers' money wisely. Because the money where Andrew get a taxpayers' money, you know. Yeah, but Andrew sit down on it like it belongs to the Holiness Empire. Yeah, we are telling him saying to stop them foolishness there. Because I go to prison, you know. This guy coming like him now, no sense, my lunatic. Andrew, you must go to prison, you know. Too much is at stake. You have robbed so much money from the taxpayers in Jamaica. No other administration, whether GLP or PMP, has never find themselves unaccountable for 3 trillion and probably about 5 trillion right now. It's only a thief in administration have the money there and cannot be accounted for. So we know from day one that this guy is a criminal, and who want endorse him as Prime Minister, him a crime minister for melting pot, and remember him no surplus to requirement because he think he can build back the OSMP people. The people them need a law, them and not depend on him and see them now do nothing for them. So him no surplus to requirement. Jamaican people whoop no eye on the guy, man. Whoop no eye on the guy. This man and I have no interest at art. Him Andrew money there all over the world, you know. When you think of Jamaica, there a little bit to see in a NCB bank, man. The majority of holding this money there all over the world, India and them place there. Down in Israel. That's why you see the country net reserve can't swell. It cannot swell. And if it wasn't for the diaspora, me don't know what happened to it. Because the man drained the net reserve. The man drained the economy. As a matter of fact, we don't even have no economy, we have a service economy. And most of the money go out of the country. This guy are not good for the country, man. This guy coming like pies, man. Him are the pies where you talk about throw on people, you know. And you know, see him at the pies where we throw himself on the Jamaican people. When you have a big multi-billion service industry like the hotel, because the hotel is a service industry. But at under 7 cents, the government get out of each tourist dollar. Mighty God, you know, say we not in a hotel. A masquerade, we are masquerade with hotel. Hotel no belong to Jamaica. That is why melting pot, so we have to go back to nationalization. So when the money make at Jamaica, it stay at Jamaica. You can't imagine all the hotel them want to see. Remember the booking done overseas, you know. 80% stay overseas. 20% come at Jamaica. The 20% have to do all the various things them within the sector, like pay the staff and them, you know, utility bills and things. And where the government get 7 cents. So that now do not Jamaica. We look on the agriculture sector and kill that. In give friend James Robertson importation license upon green product with no tax applied to it. Nigel Clark take away the tax. Fine. So James Robertson are bringing the thing and not pay nothing. But we see them are killed. Mr. Garden. Yeah. We see them are killed Dennis Garden, you know.
Yeah. Hold on a melting pot. Let me just bring in a caller here. Sister P on the line. Just want to utilize Sister P a little bit. Just give a minute, Brother Melting Pot. Yes, Sister P, go ahead.
Good night to the panel. Good night, Sister Daisy. Good night,
Good
Sister
night, Sister P.
and to Melting Pot and
Blessings, Sister Pat. Blessings.
to the chief.
All right.
No, I'm kind of a little busy. However, I want to tell you many thanks again. Thanks too much.
Bless up yourself, Sister P.
But with Gillette Onus and all, Me always listen, and learn, she said, take time I expose into the nasty sense.
Exactly.
Eh?
Exactly.
Me say, everything for them take time at home,
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Tufton, when they call it something that pops, when they call it, I tell people about oral sex. You see it?
Yes, I saw it.
When the hospital they mash up, this man I tell people about oral sex. No, Gillette Holness in the parliament appear like the parliament are fear. And Gillette Holness, she say, take time, I lose it. You're losing it, And you go come out of the parliament disgraceful. Dirty vase, where your reservice from. You come up, but remember, say you have 60 bus to come here. Are you back with money? You have so many things to answer to. Why not behaving like that? And because Trump down Iran a war, Trump will lose it too. So when Trump lose it,
exactly,
when Trump lose it, who are going to help you? Eh? Marlon Morgan, you big and sour and cranny like Abkai, when you're not born in nurse, drop it off your head. You're not going to know. Right? You just walk and chat, pay a crap. Our people in. When you look at country and go, right now, we don't know about the transportation system out there. We can't buy food. That's what we talk about. If farmer them plant can be their stone dog. No market. Eh? Those are the things we talk about. And I want to say congratulations to Angela Brownberg.
Of course.
To put Gillette Holness in our space. And you see how she shame? She come out of parliament when Angela attacked. But no matter, you could have come out 100 times. And you will chat. You. And the speech, make sure again, God good enough. The speech, where you read, see how you fit. So this somebody who write that speech for you. Kudos to that person.
Exactly.
And the speech what you write, it goes to you.
Mm-hmm.
The parliament is for us. And you are lawmaker. You know, bigger nobody else. And Andrew, you get up since there. A chat about market here or this market here that. There is Vaga tell life a mark goal is a must stop. Tap one like a parliament of uno. The opposition have equal share of the parliament is the people's opposition.
There you
Uno
go.
see we are man for it. Yes, when Trump a fling where we want to fling where. Uno see that. Uno see that. And the next thing we have bother me. Labor right, backbencher. What happened to you? Where Andrew go? Why you can't talk? These things where Andrew and his wife are doing. It a go affect you pick the knees, never go down, you know. You understand. You run in a parliament and you understand how parliament run. Listen to this program. Go back there and get clarification. The law that Andrew make today will be affecting the generation to come. Understand that, no girl and boys, and man and woman. Andrew Holness is a man we're supposed to have 2 balls like every other man. Why are you afraid of Andrew Holness? Your hand and head? We say bigger dog and Andrew Holness and me and kill that.
I like that.
You remember people down a Philippine, Fernando, Ferns, another?
Yes.
Him and his wife?
Yes.
Who much and kiss that and the people them suffer? Where then there? How they end up?
Prison.
Andrew, your time come. It's coming because the ladies, the mothers who people no kill, where I cry every day. The tears is a language where God understand. You know, do ethnic clean. You know, this a kill your stuff. You know, kill picnic. Uno kill big somebody. What happened to Uno? This morning I was in Kingston and some policeman come stand up beside me. Not trouble me, but me move. So they said, Miss, why you moving? Me said, no, I didn't go pine. Uno go say me pine something for Uno and Uno go shoot me. The man, they laugh. They say, boy, look, look. Where we cause a battle last week. Yo, brother, we can't take this. Me, I don't simply shoot me. No one, they go say me pine and they shoot me. So me move from side of them. As the country becomes, which you remember when you're younger, and you go to town and you want find one place. And you see a policeman or woman, and then you go ask, say, you know, I want to go for public, but me don't know where. And then you go ask. But no, you have to run from police. And as I end, Prime Minister, Commissioner of Police, killing one do, it go flip. And it go turn blue and blue. Police are going to start kill police now. You know why? When I start a police kill a policeman, son, nephew, a sentence, you will never know, say, I son, nor I nephew. Even go and know, say, you did murder him. Him go get you back. Then the war will start. And I yield back.
All right, thank you for that, Sister P. Thank you for that wonderful input. Right, solid argument coming from Sister P there. But Melting Pot, I want for you and Sister Daisy, right, to speak on two other clips that I am going to present. Right, I said I would make you close earlier, but I overlooked two other clips. Now, Jamaica, I just want to present something, and we're going to have right, Sister Daisy and Melting Pot address it. Now, we are showing Jamaica as it relates to, you know, Juliet Owens, right, the control that she take over the parliament and the sort of dictatorship. No two way about that. Strictly dictatorship, because to them, they perceive their governance, right, to be monarchical. And so then you can see that there's a king and queen that's seated up on the throne. Now, I am going to show you something very serious, right? And as you see that Juliet Owens having her way in the parliament, but at the same time, I played a clip where Juliet Owens was speaking about humility. Humility. But yet, trust me, she don't know nothing as it relates to humility. Now, I am going to show Jamaica that Juliet Owens under investigation. The Prime Minister under investigation. Not two way about that. Juliet Owens should have never seated in the Speaker's chair, knowing to the fact that what hung over her head is very serious and extremely serious. Now, I am going to show Juliet Owens something. Now, Juliet Owens brought something to bear that the Integrity Commission investigators did not know about. But she brought it out in the public. And we are going to address it. Now, bring up this as it relates to Jamaica Gleaner, $800 million complex caught in bottle. Something I'm going to show Jamaica. Something that I am going to show the world to look at this. To show you that the high level of criminality and Juliet Owens sits in the parliament. Now here it is, Juliet Owens, $800 million apartment complex court battle to continue in January 2024. Something I'm going to show Jamaica. $800 million complex, right? This is Thursday, July 27, 2023. I want to look on this in Jamaica in terms of where I'm going. Here it is, the trial involving an $800 million apartment complex owned by developer Juliet Owens company will continue in the Supreme Court in January 2024. Take away that. Let me show Jamaica something. Because we have to show this. Juliet Holness should not be in the parliament. Andrew Holness must not be on any ballot. Jamaica will sit too long and we take these things. Let us go into document 1. Right? Look at this. I am going to show you something. Remember, we talk about July 2023 that Juliet Holness in court talking about $800 million apartment. Right? Now, look at this, Jamaican people. Something I'm going to show you. Right? To show you that this is corruption beyond corruption. And the evidence is here. And I want people to just look at the evidence as it relates to Juliet Holness criminality and Andrew Holness criminality. Lying to the Integrity Commission investigators. Right? And so then, here it is that she's in Parliament, right? Talking about standing orders must be obeyed. And where she's breaking every rules. Look at this, my Jamaican people. Let me have you look on the document for yourself. We are showing it one more time, right? Big to people. Let us big up this, right? Let us big up this so people can see. Remember, you know, I showed Juliet Holness $800 million apartment in 2023, you know, right? In court, right? And here is Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness assets, liability, and income. That's why I can never ever respect the DPP, can never respect the Commissioner of Police, because they know all of this, you know, and then see all of this, you know. Feed. You see all of this. I don't know why Andrew Holness still in the Parliament and Juliet still up on the chair. See the people. 2018, total assets, $112 million in 2018. 2019, let me use a little bit of money. And it go down to 111 million. Now, 2020 now, this is in the COVID time, you know. COVID time, Andrew Holness a thief, you know. His asset ballooned to 131 million in 2020. 2021, I'm going to look on this now. The height of the COVID, you know. Where other companies fail, not making any money around the world, around the globe, Andrew Holness shell company, they make millions of dollars in a COVID time. On look on it, people. See it here, me not tell no lie. 2020 COVID, 131 million. So between 2020 and 2021, see there, $197 million. The man shell company. And 2022, see that it gone to what? $200 million now. So this is what he present to the Integrity Commission investigators. This is his statutory declaration between 2018 to 2022. Remember the document I'm showing you, for 2023 as it relates to Juliet Holness court. A $800 million Juliet Holness. Say our property cars, you know, as it relates to the current market value, you know. See there? Jamaican people no look. The $800 million not depend this, you know. Not even half of it not depend this, you know. What I'm showing the Integrity Commission, you know. Me are showing you. See there? 2022. Right? And 2023, Juliet Holness go in a court. We are property value $800 million. But not only that, let me show you something else. So you have $800 million that hide, that been hidden from the Integrity Commission. Look at this now, Jamaican people. The Integrity Commission don't know about this neither, you know. You know, look on this, Jamaican people. Right? The high level of criminality in our face. See that? In NCB, the laundering the money for Andrew on the city, account 20, account 2025, account 3501, account 66, account 52, account 852, account 5601, 1521, account 25. No, Andrew owns the laundering $470 million through 3 shell company, Estate Bridge Holdings, right? Imperium, right? And Positive Media. See, 473 million between which period? Let me show you the period, right? See period, 2020, June 13, 2023. And we had the document, previous document, let me show you in a 2022, right? Andrew owns only 2 Integrity Commission, that him have only 200 million, And watch this. The $470 million, not mentioned on his statutory declaration, And see it, him a laundry through Estate Bridge, Imperium, and Positive Media. So Jamaica, this is so emboldened that Andrew Wallace want to normalize the criminality and now want to move to Nara for dealing with what? $2 trillion after his administration cannot give an account for $3 trillion. Take that away on him. Let me talk to the people. Now, remember Melting Pot, since Melting Pot was on the floor, bring back Melting Pot on the floor and then we ask Sister Daisy to close us out. Now, Melting Pot. Now, when I see this, right, speak on this issue, I present them as it relates to his statutory declaration, as it relates to what he's telling the Integrity Commission. But you see, Juliet owns at least flat as it relates to $800 million. You see, Andrew owns between the same time frame where the Integrity Commission investigate $470 million. When I put that together, you nearly talk about $1.4 billion that Andrew Owens hide from the Integrity Commission. Speak on the matter, my brother.
Well, first of all, I don't know of any politician in the world where a member of parliament that represent people where conduct so much business. And you have 3 shell companies that show vast amount of millions running to billions. Yeah, so I'm a businessman, I'm a prime minister. Tell the people that straight. Then when you look how them address Juliet Holness in the news edition, yeah, them address her as developer. Me never know she a developer. Where she get license from to be developer? And where Juliet get so much money from in that period of time that when we not see it on the IC report. I remember 3 projects she have simultaneously up in a lease flat. There were 2 others. Yeah. And she breached everything in regards to that. We know about that. You understand? So it show you said them they are not politician, them they are not member of parliament, them they not represent nobody. Them a create a dynasty in a Jamaica where they mass all the wealth from the poor people. They steal the taxpayers' money left, right, and center. This is why $3 trillion unaccountable and a FEMA administration. So it just show you how them normalize criminality and corruption. Yeah, and the people in Jamaica are wise to that. There is no way Juliet, since she go into politics, can amass much wealth, and she's not a developer.
No way.
And I can tell the people that until she, yeah, there is no traceable funding that she get to carry out them project there. Them there, them money where them confiscate, where them are hiding a black, sand, steel, and cement.
True.
That's why she becomes a developer. Them have to build out Jamaica and hide the corruption money. And what if corruption them involved in my Jamaican people? And not just locally, you know, them on the international market too. That's why Jamaica become a narco state, a transshipment up to cocaine. gun a trade, ammunition a trade. Yeah. That's why the guy draw 51 agency and I'm umbrella, you know. Yeah. So we have to look on this guy as a 5-star general when it comes to criminality. Yeah, man. And see him size 14. The two of them are go down, you know. And them are go down in a blaze of glory in a prison. Me can't tell them that. Yeah. Long run, short catch, time a come. You can carry out on the illicit enrichment. You can disrespect the code of conduct. You can do everything. You can attempt to move certain things out of the Integrity Commission Act. You can do everything. Time a come. Because, remember, you know, time longer than rope.
All right.
There is no way them can amass the amount of wealth that you see how them orchestrate them thing. They are hiding their money through shell company. You understand? The guy have positive media, Imperium and Estate Bridge. For a crime minister, we're supposed to run the country. Chief civil servant. You know, say a business in my run. Corruption business. Yeah? Them business in a pay Jamaican attack. Him avoid tax. Yeah? So him a deal with tax evasion as well. That's why all I'm big friend them now pay no corporate tax. That's why Big Mama can owe 1.5 billion and get 10 right off. Because Big Mama fall under the same constraint. But make we look on something very fundamental, my Jamaican people. As Sir Byron rightly put up the graphic and show you when the man are making money. When the man are making money, when the man money has surge, you know, COVID, you know. And there is one more allies where people money surge because we have the graphic. Dushan Shivada, yeah. And what them call it, Amber Technology. Them surge too at the same time. But me and Byron know say a one entity. A Andrew business same way among Black Dushan Shivada at the face card. That is why in the same period of time, both were surging and surging dramatically. I yield back the floor.
All right. Now, Sister Daisy, Sister Maria, please close us out as it relates to your input on this matter.
You know, the speaker said, in her opening before the sectoral debate started today in Parliament that, in a paraphrasing, don't mistake her meekness or weakness, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I would dare say to her, stop mistaking the meekness of Jamaicans for weakness, because they're going to push and push them too far, and then they're going to push back, because the way they're operating is untenable. And it's the Jamaican people who are suffering as a result of that. When you have a prime minister and his wife being so disrespectful, showing no regard for the people, behaving like they got themselves there by themselves. It was the people who put them there, and it is the people that they are answerable, and they cannot craft laws to benefit themselves. And everything you see is benefiting them. They are the only ones who are prosperous, right? Their friends are prosperous, and anything and everything that has to do with accountability is frowned upon. And when you speak out against the corruption and you try to hold them accountable, then you hear that you're bad mind, you're trying to tear down the government. They have to get serious. They have to get serious. And the democracy that he inherited, he must make it better or leave it as he found it, but not make it worse. Not make it worse. And the current trajectory that they're on is not healthy, and it doesn't augur well for the future of the country. And the people of Jamaica are more powerful than the Jamaica Labour administration that is in power right now.
All right. Well said. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right, there it is. We come to the end of the program tonight, and I'm not going to burn out Sister Maria and Melting Pot any longer. We had stayed right a good amount of time, and well appreciate that. So let me just hand over to Wifey so Wifey can close us out. Right. I want to say big thanks to Sister Maria, right? To
Blessings.
us to really love that, right? And Brother Melting Pot, right? Blazing the fire and wonderful performance. Really appreciate that. Wifey, please close us out.
Okay, guys. Again, blessings. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone. Maria, bless up. Melting Pot.
Blessings, my dear.
Safe travel on the gravel. Until next time.
All right.
One love.
So why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right side of that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.